This week, our heroes talk about the McMillions documentary, Why is Dan's hair like this? And we answer your questions. All this and more this week's very live episode of the CC Mouse Funcast. My hair gets great reception, Jess. Welcome to this week's episode of the CC Mouse Funcast. We are good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me at RFS Dan.
And I'm Jess, and you can find me at Gone to the Snow Dogs and Snow Dogs Blogs.
Look, everybody, usually this show is full of cheers, not jeers, laughs, funs, good times. But today, I think I need an intervention, Jess.
Yeah, you think?
I have now lost my mind. I didn't know that there was like sub-rabbit holes that you could fall down, and I've fallen down multiple rabbit holes today. Oh my gosh, like... Not proud to admit this, Jess. And we're close. Like, we're the friends of friends. And I was looking up stuff, and this is how it always starts. It's all really the podcast's fault. I was just trying to look up fun things on the podcast. And then I fell down this rabbit hole. This rabbit hole of Logan Paul.
Oh, no.
Why was I curious of what he was up to, right? So there I am, clicking, making sure nobody's looking. I go to Logan Paul's page. Right. And he's got back to his old, because he quit vlogging and he's back to his old tricks again because they're all stuck indoors and whatever.
Right.
And I start watching, and then I laughed once. I'm like, whoa, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes like accidents happen. We're all friends here. Then I laughed twice, then thrice. And then I was like looking for somebody else to show what was going on to. And then he said did something douchey and I was out. But holy cow, I fell down the Logan Paul rabbit hole of stuff again. That guy's a maniac. And then that's not the worst part. The worst part is what he did to me at the end of the video. And it recommended me a JoJo Siwa.
Did you fall down that rabbit hole?
Yes, so here's the deal. Let me tell you guys all I know about JoJo Siwa, right? There's this like computer algorithm that spit her out. She looks like Lisa Frank had a child. And she's just dancing around everywhere. And like, I've only really seen her in still forms. And when I look at her, her head looks painful because it's all just pulled back like one of those toddler and tiara moms got a hold of her and just pulled her hair back, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, whoa, okay, she moves. She's animatronic. So, because I've seen her on packages and stuff at the store next to that Ryan kid who I swear is 40.
With the big bows.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. She had an unbox. She has a Bow of the Month club.
Yeah.
Which is kind of genius. So then I click play, and it shoots me to the TikToks, and I'm like, all right. And oh my gosh, I thought all her videos were on 3 times speed. They're not. She lives in this mansion like everybody else that's on the internet, except for I think hers is made of sugar.
Yeah, and she has a unicorn right in her like landing area when you walk into her house. Did you notice that in her TikToks?
I did not. What is it full of toot? Because she is just
I don't know, but it's like a
bouncing.
life-size unicorn.
Man, she's just bouncing around, right? So then I start scrolling through her stuff back to when like it was cute. Like, oh, look, she's like 9, 10, 11 doing this. Now she's between the ages of 16 and 29. I don't know her life. I'm not writing an A&E biography. And she's still bouncing around. And I'm like, oh, there's a shelf life to this.
But you know what? She's still selling out concerts everywhere, and people are still enjoying her stuff, so she makes people happy.
So this is for you, JoJo Siwa, because I was very much entertained by the fact that you had more energy than I did. So it was originally up, and then like right before we started, it split.
They look like alfalfa.
Yeah, or like who's that other guy, Jiminy Glick or something? Yeah, but it's only part of my hair. The back here, young Padawan. This is the hair that just did not want to participate in my antics. Or like, I'm out. I am not going up there.
It was the only part of your hair that could escape.
Yes. So there it is. Logan Paul caused me to have. Ooh, hey, I just need those eyebrows. Ooh, I do have those eyebrows. Oh, I just need some lipstick. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the CC Mouse Funcast. That is why my hair is at. What happened to the mohawk? It's here. It's here in Siwa form. Look at, oh man, I'm like Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. You fool. Inspector Gadget. Can I spin it around?
Dan, everybody. Dan.
Oh, friends, I'm losing my mind being inside this house all cooped up behind the lights.
Oh, my
how's everybody doing
goodness.
out there? Oh my
I think
God.
we had a super chat a little bit ago.
Did we have a super chat? Let me go back up here and see these super chats here. We did from PJ. Hey, it's our heroes. Brr, 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 brr. We might not be the heroes you need, but we are the heroes that you get, or wherever that goes to. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go outside and give directions about that. Oh, you go left there. It's
If
like
it's
a break
windy out,
dancer.
you might take off.
He looks like a break dancer that's on his head. So this is why my camera wasn't on before we started. I was afraid you'd tell me no. I
was wondering.
We'd have an emergency board meeting and you'd be like, no goal, Dan. No goal.
Dan.
Thank you for the super chat, PJ. Head up to super chat. Hi, Dan. Hi, Jess. Love y'all's channel. So how about now?
Hey, I'm not going to stifle your creativity. You can do your hair however you want. Mine's blue. Can you tell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, it's blue.
Yeah, you can tell.
It's blue. It looks good. Today I thought because in your bathroom behind the scenes, there's like all these rocks and stuff like on your counter.
Oh, right.
And I thought that was like, have you seen where they like cut holes in the wood and they pour the blue stuff in there and it looks like the water? I thought that's what you were doing today.
That'd have been cool, but no.
I will say your eyes look great because mine are just brown and you have that light now. And look at it. Don't call them blue, people. No, they're gray, which I never knew existed before Jess.
Yeah, they're
But
gray.
yeah, that's cool. They look they look professional.
You need to get one of these little professional lights.
Yeah, I just have brown eyes. Actually, they're like lighter or hazel or I don't know. They're not just doo-doo brown. They're okay. They're okay.
I think this light was only like $30.
Was it? I have like Target light. Oh, you can't see it. Oh no. I have like a Target light, which I have like a permanent like blind spot in my eyes from looking at it from the game show last night. Oh my gosh.
Circles. Where you see the circles on my eyes,
That's
when
what
I
makes it
close
look
my
cool.
eyes, I still see circles.
I want one that's square so I look like a goat. So I have goat eyes. I'm like, ma, the CC Mouse podcast. Oh, get me out of here. Cut it out.
Welcome to the beginning.
Yeah, this is Dan. Oh man, it's me. Whew, how's
much
everybody
sugar
doing
did you
out
have
there? Oh yeah,
today?
there's a chat room. I forgot we're live.
How much sugar did you have today?
I didn't have any sugar. I didn't have
Nice.
any sugar, although this is sponsored by Uncrustables for later. No, you know what? I did have a little bit of cherry Pepsi, but that was a long time ago. That was before I went and tried to brave the store.
Oh, right.
Hey, y'all! Shout out to how's your guys' condiment game going out there? Because I have so many condiments from ordering out, and I don't know, I feel like when you mix condiments from different restaurants, it's like it's gonna explode. So I have the other day I ate McDonald's ketchups on a Burger King Whopper, and I was just like, oh, maybe it's gonna explode. Like those things don't mix. But who's got the stuck on lockdown sauce game? I'll tell you what. After I went to Michigan and you turned me on to that hot mustard, I've been grabbing a lot of that hot mustard. Got some of that ranch
Good
from
on everything.
Burger King. Del Scorcho, which is the best. That is absolutely the #1 hot sauce ever for a fast food place. I got all kinds of stuff. You know, McDonald's has buffalo sauce. I got it just because I could.
Have you tried it though?
Yeah, it tastes like red buffalo sauce. It's blah.
Oh, no, see,
Zesty
I don't like it.
sauce, which I didn't want to eat.
Oh.
And then the best of the sauces from McDonald's is actually sweet and sour sauce. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I did with it. There it is. Anyway, so my sauce game people are on point. Man, I love that.
And now they're all on the floor.
Yeah, one time when I was a kid, did I tell you already? I might have told a story already. I had a coin bank, but it was a stoplight. So it was like a complete circle that was clear with a stoplight on it, and I filled it up with Taco Bell hot sauce. Every time I go, I'd grab hot handfuls and I filled it up with it. It was either that or turn it into a bong. So I'd put the hot sauce in there because that's all I did as a kid. I was a good kid. So
We built a Christmas tree out of Mountain Dew cans.
Did you?
Yeah.
Or did you buy it at like a craft fair?
When we first moved out, it was everybody's cans had to go together. I didn't drink Mountain Dew, but Jamie and Greg and Eric did. And we saved all the cans because we couldn't afford a Christmas tree, probably because we bought too much Mountain Dew. But we built a Christmas tree out of Mountain Dew cans. I have a picture of it somewhere.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
It does exist.
At least it didn't go rotten. My Taco Bell packets started leaking through and eating themselves, and I'm like, oh no. Yeah, sometimes that happened into the thing, and I rolled it up like a sack. So I'm like, snoochie boochies. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, there's a chat room. Hello, what's going on in the chat? How is y'all's quarantine? Well, if you saw the intro, Brent. Oh, is it? Oh, it's Brant. If you saw the intro, you'd know. Whew. Oh
Right?
man. Yep. So anyway, so I watched some of that Logan Paul stuff, and yeah, he's back to his old antics. It sucks because he's such a d-bag, but like every now and then he comes up with a good bit, because I know there's people helping.
Yes.
There's people helping, so they help him with the bits and stuff like that. And so, but I can't recommend him.
It makes me wonder, like, what he would be like if he does what we always tell everybody to do when they want to start a YouTube channel, and he was just authentic and tried to be himself with a little bit. So, like, I think when you do a YouTube channel, you need to be yourself, but then take yourself level and, like, bump it up just a little bit. And then that's usually what most people do. When you get that authentic feel from them. And I wonder what he would be like. He would probably be boring, though.
I think they're broken, like the Carters, like Aaron Carter and Nick Carter, where they're just broken. One of the things that I saw, I guess the mom and dad are broken up, and the dad ran his mouth a little bit, and the mom, and they were like running their mouths through the phone to each other. I'm like, oh, that's cringy. And then I just think that they're broken. I just think that they're broken, and it's all production value and stuff. But I mean, he's doing it. He's still getting the millions of views.
True.
His podcast, Logan Paul, I don't know. I forgot to play on words he did. His podcast was beating out Joe Rogan for a little bit. He's got that much pull. It might have dipped, but when it came out, it was like the #1 fastest growing podcast of all time. And podcasts have been around for, I've been watching podcasts for well over 10 years, listening to them for well over 10 years. But yeah, he's still doing it.
That's crazy.
He's just executing it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sarah
I
says,
agree.
I'm drinking Diet Cherry Pepsi right now. Get rid of the diet, change the Pepsi to Coke, and then we could be friends. So I don't watch any. I love David Dobrik, obviously. Like, he's a lot of fun. I don't watch his stuff without Blake. Since I haven't seen Blake in 5 or 6 weeks, I haven't watched anything. Is he still making videos?
I haven't seen a video from him in a while. I saw a couple videos from Jason when it's Joe. When Joe was talking about how him and his girlfriend had COVID,
Mm-hmm.
Jason made a video and they were all on Zoom together. But I haven't seen anything from David now that I think about it. So I don't know if he's uploaded at all. I know he had uploaded something and said something about, it's really hard to make content because we can't all hang out together.
Right.
But that things should be back to normal soon, or we'll put out whatever we can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen anything since then.
Okay.
So
I haven't seen anything either. He's on the Instagrams, and he's on the
TikTok.
Instagrams, and he's on the TikToks.
Yeah.
Are him and his assistant a thing? Are they a thing? Is Natalie?
I don't know. I thought she was with that other guy.
Jeff
I have
guy.
no idea.
I don't know either. I don't know. Oh, Jordan with the super chat. Just got here. What's going on with Dan's hair? I just got it done, but it itches right here. I can't get to it. But this is my JoJo Siwa hair, because I fell down the JoJo Siwa rabbit hole. And then their parents have their TikTok. Oh my gosh. Then their parents have a TikTok.
Right?
With their whole family, and I swear they're all just cookie cutters of her. Like, I can see like 1.0 and 2.0, and I think there's a brother, a 3.0, and then there's her. But I mean, good for her. Like, she's
Right.
she's doing it.
She's doing it.
She needs to do something different, because she's doing that thing that everybody does, is she's just maturing, and now it doesn't fit. And like,
It's gonna get to a point where she's gonna really have to figure out how to continue to expand this without alienating most of her audience, because a lot of her audience has grown up with her as well.
Right, which means they're gonna go and move on.
Yeah.
I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had a whole round of people hang out and then just move on. Like they get up, or they grow up, or they have different things to do, or they get married, or have families, and
Yep.
So you do. I mean, I'm sure there's been people that used to be regulars back in the day that have just up and moved on for no reason of yours, like no fault of yours. It just happened.
It's life.
But go ahead.
I just said it's just life.
It is life. What do you think? What do you think Grumpy Cat's doing? Because that company, it got really, I don't know if it's a company, but it got really big, and then obviously Grumpy Cat died. So is that it?
No, they use a lot of their old footage. They use they repeat photos, or they'll take their photos that they have and they'll edit them just a little bit differently, so the angle, not the angle, but the photos will be a little bit different. They're still selling all their merch. They're still posting quite often, actually. They still have a lot of stuff that they have for sale. I think even though because they weren't doing like a lot of video content, I think it's easier to keep Grumpy Cat alive, per se, because they have animated versions and they,
Okay,
you
there
know,
you
they
go.
have
Okay.
the drawings that they can do,
Right.
and then they do like, what are they called? Like memes with the drawings. They can do comics. There's a lot they can do with the idea of Grumpy Cat, even though Grumpy Cat is past.
Okay, I was wondering because there's the plushies, there's the shirts. Crystal has socks. I guess
Yep.
you know Grumpy Cat could live on, but like just from so at this point, except for the cartoons, which could go on forever depending on how they depict Grumpy Cat, they're
Right.
having just to repackage
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. I think that they were in a really good place when Grumpy Cat passed away to be able to keep going. I mean, because realistically, you're not posting 20 photos a day, but there's a good chance they were, you know, having days where they were taking a ton of photos every day. So I'm sure they have a lot of stuff that I have pictures upon pictures that nobody's ever seen because I take 100 pictures in one sitting and then 2 of the 100 go up.
So right now, if you cut off all new footage, you just put the camera down, you cut off all new footage, you threw your cameras away, how you could probably go for a while on stuff that's banked, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, even stuff that nobody's seen before, huh? Because you know
At
what,
least
I guess
photos. And
yeah,
I do have some video, but at least photos.
that's true. I do have, especially early on. Remember early on when you make a 10-minute video and you'd shoot an hour and 45 minutes of footage, and then you realize like, why did I take that shot 10 times? I'm only going to use it once, if that. And then you narrow it down, and now a 10-minute video you could do in like 15 minutes of footage, you know. But
Right.
so I still have all that old footage. There's been plenty of times where I've tried to work on a script for a video, a Japanese video, and I went through a whole battery before I could get like 10 words right. So like, okay, so yeah, I do have all kinds of stuff. And you save all your footage, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I used to save it all, and then now I kind of just shush off with it. Like, oh, new memories will be
Right.
be made.
Right.
But it is hard to delete some of that old footage.
Oh, yeah. It's very hard.
It is, because we can't go back.
Yeah. Right.
Yes. Yeah, so okay, so I guess JoJo's just gonna have to repackage herself, just like
And I'm sure she will.
Grumpy Cat. Well, I wonder though. I did hear her finally say words, and
She'll go from Hannah Montana to Miley Cyrus.
oh no, please don't do that. Please no, JoJo. No. Miley's another one that like she went around the earth. It was like, oh look, it's Hannah Montana. Oh my god, she's 18 on her own and she's doing really good music. Oh, she did whatever the heck she wanted for a while, which fine, whatever, you do you.
Right.
And then I think she's like calmed down a bit. I think last time I saw her, like her hair grew back a little bit, and she was doing
Yeah,
an
I
internet TV
haven't-
show. I think kind of like who's the guy from Tommy Boys? Not Chris Farley, but
Dana
David
Carvey.
Spade. David Spade's
David
doing
Spade.
that too. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think Miley Cyrus has been doing some like home show stuff, like a lot of people are. Have you noticed
Yeah.
more live stream stuff?
Yeah, there was 9 in my sub box last night while your live stream was going.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just because it was. I don't know if it was just because it was Saturday or what, but there was a lot.
Yeah, and everybody's starting to pick up on that. Like, hey man, I better like start turning on the live streams and doing stuff. I see more and more celebrities doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot more people doing lives on TikTok as well.
There's some cringy ones though. Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Man, him and his daughter have been doing them, and they've been so cringy, so cringy. Yeah, I'm just like, oh man, that's not good. I think I seen Charlie Sheen doing them too.
Jeez.
I don't know, or maybe they're doing cameos. I don't know. So Jess, yesterday, I think was it yesterday, the day before? No, I think it was on game night when we were hanging out on game night. We were talking
Friday.
about the McMillions documentary.
Yeah. Were we talking about that Friday night or was that yesterday?
No, because you and I didn't voice talk in public, like
Yep.
only on the phone.
Yeah.
So
it
I
would've
went
been
ahead and
Friday night,
watched.
yeah.
I went ahead and watched almost all of it last night. Like I put it on and just let it go while I was doing other stuff here at my desk and stuff, and it's strange. For those of you guys that don't know what happened, McDonald's used to, or they still do.
They still do.
Do they still do it? They do a McDonald's Millionaire Win game, you know, where you get the little board, and you'd get the, you'd supersize your thing to get like a game piece, and you put it on there, and obviously you could always get all the pieces but one. Except for I was always getting free cheeseburgers or free small fries. Small fries, psh, I don't want to waste the gas money on small fries. So in this game, it was about the people that would steal the pieces at the factory, I guess. They still, and I don't know if I missed something, and I even went back and asked Crystal, like, hey, like, they still never explained to me how they got the pieces.
Yeah, I think I'm on episode 4, so I haven't watched it all the way through. Like, I know the story, but I haven't watched it all the way through because it was the McDonald's the McDonald's game that they used to do. That's also why they changed the way the game is done. But yeah, I haven't seen yet or learned yet like what how they actually stole the pieces. What are you grumbling about?
I agree. Okay, so here's how it works. So there's an independent firm that makes all these pieces, and it's highly scrutinized and stuff, but not as much for just like the winning pieces for like fries and drinks and, you know, get a free game piece or win $100. Those are just done in the factory. But the high end stuff is done with like lock and key. Like you and I both have to turn the key at the same time. There's other people in there. We have the $1 million boardwalk piece and all the other $50,000, $10, you know, Ford Focus or of Dodge Viper or whatever they're giving away. And so they have those mixed in with a bunch of dumb pieces, like a bunch of just regular pieces. And then they go to mix them all there and they just randomly insert it into the product line and off they go. The part that I don't know is where, and we're going to spoil this because this is a big thing this thing went on this was a long time ago. So I still don't know how they stole the pieces because they didn't duplicate them.
It was the security guy that stole them, but I don't know how he managed to steal them.
Yes, because there was a lot of people there that had to be involved.
Yeah.
So then it was insanely devalued. It was like, all right, I'm gonna give you this $1 million game piece, but I want I'm gonna sell it to you for $50,000. And I'm like, all right, I give you $50,000, and now I have $1 million piece. Now I need to give it to somebody else to turn in, and I'll split it with them. So it's gonna make me a lot of money, but I need it to go down the road a little bit, so you can't trace it back to this person.
Right.
So it ended up being like the one girl took it for $1 million, and after she had to pay taxes and she had to pay the other person and stuff like that, she was only getting $10,000 a month for like 20 years. Yeah. Out of her $50,000 she was gonna get a month. Like it trickles down quick, right? So then the dude was messing up because they traced everything back to them. And they didn't even do it with computers because it was so long ago. Like, they had to go gumshoeing out there and try to figure stuff out and go undercover. And there was this one guy in the documentary that was, like, way too into it. He was, like, way too into it. Yeah, the FBI agent's like, this is the best. And he was, like, pretending to get all the winners together so he could try to catch them and interview them. And it was so, like, he was so into it. And it was crazy. It was crazy. And you're like, I'm going like, okay, well, you can tell me the story in an hour because I already have known the story from back in the day. You can tell it in the hour. Why is there 6 1-hour episodes on it? Is that 6? That's 6.
It was really interesting that they stretched it out to that. Like, you could tell that whole story in an hour. Like, you could tell the story of McDonald's Monopoly scam in an hour. But they did. They stretched it. But, like, even Jamie said, he's like, they wrote it in a way where you just wanted to keep watching it. Like, they just really kept leading you on, and you're like, well, now I have to watch the next one.
Everybody in that show was crazy. So
kind of like Tiger King without the tigers.
Without the tigers, right? So I managed to get through it. It got a little stretchy when, like, it turned into mafia mob stuff and drug rings and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, at one point, I'm like, I don't think they mentioned the word McDonald's for the last hour in this show when I was watching it. But it was good. Like, if you want to watch the first, like, I got through the first, like, 4, and I probably ain't gonna go back. I get it. But if you want to watch the first 4 episodes, I think they're free on HBO. But it was interesting to see the way that, like, they figured. I don't know how they even thought to figure it out, because McDonald's had no idea this was going on until they came to McDonald's with it. But I don't recall how they figured it out.
I don't know either. You can watch it on Hulu or you can watch it on HBO right now.
Okay, yeah. So it's called McMillions. It's about how they scammed. Oh, I know what it was. Nobody had won the $1 million prize for like a bunch of years. And then every time they were doing it, like, somebody kept winning and it got crazy. So I think somebody was like suspicious of that. But they treated it like this game comes around like once a year. But they were acting like they were all year around, you know, like doing these pieces. So I'm not sure.
Well, sometimes McDonald's would do Monopoly twice in 1 year. Monopoly was a huge thing for McDonald's back in the day. Like, it brought them a massive amount of money. So anytime their sales were down, they would just run Monopoly. They're like, what are we going to do? I know, let's run Monopoly. And then they did other games as well. I think they did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game. They did a Scrabble game. There was another one that they did. But Monopoly was the biggest one. So anytime McDonald's was like, oh, our sales are going down, oh, run Monopoly. So there were a couple years where they ran it two times in 1 year.
I didn't realize you could walk in and get a free Monopoly piece.
Yes, that has to be because it's a no purchase necessary game. Otherwise, it's gambling. As soon as you have to pay, now you need a raffle license or it's gambling. As soon as you have to pay to enter, it's a whole different round of rules.
That kind of reminds me of when you enter for contests and stuff online, like the Taco Bell contest. Every time you bought like a Taco Bell meal, it came with a code you could win. But if you went to the website and go down there's a free code because they have to be able to give away a code. Okay, that makes sense. I wanted a lot of stuff. I won a lot of stuff off of that.
I won a lot of stuff off of the Coke reward points stuff.
Did you? Yeah, I got a free Xbox. I got a free not a Kinect, the Sony Move or something like that.
Right.
Lots of stuff. Like a lifetime supply of hot tamales. Oh my gosh, if I never see a hot tamale again.
Monopoly was crazy for McDonald's.
Oh yeah. She said it was all like an inside scam. Yeah, I didn't get to the end. I don't know if I will because it got so far away from what I wanted it to be. I thought it was Ronald, inside job for Ronald. So if you guys want something pretty interesting, like I said, you don't have to watch the first few episodes. You get the gist of it.
Yeah.
What it didn't get to yet is everybody was telling their story, how they scammed it. Like, oh, I got this ticket and here's how I did it. Why aren't you guys in jail? Like, what are you doing sitting here talking?
I wonder, I mean, like I said, I haven't watched the end of it yet, but I wonder if they all testified against the person who did it all.
They tried to halfway treat him like a mobster, but like he was kind. And I'm like, dude, all he did was like take Monopoly
give people
pieces.
Money.
He wasn't like
all he did was
murdering people.
All he did was steal from a corporation and give the money to somebody else. He was Robin Hood.
Yeah, I guess he was robbing something. He was robbing McDonald's.
Right? He was a Robin Hood.
Hannah says, I love your hat, Jess.
Thanks. I got it at Disneyland.
I like it too. Does the bow come off?
No.
Have you tried?
Yep.
Oh. Well, there's got to be a way to get the bow off.
It doesn't come off.
I like it.
We'll have to find another one when we go back.
Yeah. As long as it's not gray, we're good.
And then I can modify that one.
Helen says, "Hey, have you both got the parcel with the stuff, the tube of Vegemite?" No, I haven't yet, and I have been looking out for it. Like every day, I've been looking out for it. So I have not gotten that package yet with the Vegemite and stuff.
I haven't picked up my mail in a couple of days, so it might be at my PO box, but I don't know. I've been trying to go as little as possible.
Yeah, or like if it comes here, I'll tell you like, hey, you should go check your PO box. My stuff gets delivered to the porch, and I assure you, nobody wants the Vegemite. So, so no, it hasn't come yet. No. Back in the mid '80s, I thought I'd won the millions. I got a piece in Canada, got home, and the piece on the board turned out I needed the piece. The piece that I got turned out I needed the piece next to the one that I got. That was me every time. And you'd be in the car, and you're like, wait, do I need Baltic Ave? Do I need that? And then you're all excited to go home because you might win the Sea-Doos. Like, ooh, a Sea-Doo or an ATV. Remember those three-wheelers? Yeah. Ooh, ATV. I could be paralyzed really soon. And nope.
And then
Nope. How's the kitchen? If you guys saw in the live stream, the game show live stream yesterday, it's about 80% done. It looks good. It looks like a real house kitchen.
Mine's clean.
Is your kitchen clean?
Yeah, I got bored yesterday.
Did you throw out all your appliances but the Instapot?
No, they're all clean.
Oh, good.
Everything is clean and put away.
Ooh, so what's going to happen next week when you get a green screen? We're not going to get to see any of the taxidermist dogs back there.
I know, right? Wait, this way.
Yeah,
It'll be here Tuesday.
Yeah?
It'll be here Tuesday. That's what it said anyway.
When it comes, we're going to go, like, we're going to have all these different backgrounds. We're going to be in space with our helmets on. We're going to go to all these different...
We could be at Disneyland. We could go visit all the places we want to be that we can't go.
We could, yes. We could go to all those places. Isn't that how shows are supposed to work? Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to get through the last 2 episodes. I have no desire. I have like a small brain, or not small brain, a short attention span. So like I'm off to the next thing. Shush! You leave that comment. Just let that comment go, Jess. Let that comment go. So one of the things I was doing when I was watching the Logan Paul, show is it was his birthday and he got a mantis shrimp. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this mantis shrimp. Jess, have you ever heard of this mantis shrimp?
No.
Yeah, it's like the newest it's not the new, but it's like the coolest, raddest like shrimp thing alive where like its eyes work independently, which I don't even know how I could process that in my head. And like it's got like more like punching power where it like breaks things open than like anything else in the world. and like it generates. Okay, so you see this little praying mantis thing. Oh no, it's like underwater. It's like a shrimp thing underwater, right? And it's like beautiful colors. It's like that like jet fuel color, you know, where it's like all the colors in one.
Right.
And it goes swimming over to this like shell and just like flicks it, and it just blows up. And it has to be in like super slow motion because I guess it like punches 50 times faster than like our eyes refresh. And apparently it puts off the same amount of heat as the surface of the sun for a little second. Why it does that, which makes me think like, why isn't everything cooked around it? Like, shouldn't everything be cooked? But apparently this creature is like really like hard to find and like really expensive and illegal, and it's like super.
So of course he got one, so that something will kill it.
Yeah, of course he got one. Yeah, I think he's gonna kill it just from his
Yeah, probably.
Just from his stupidity. But then I fell down the rabbit hole of watching all these National Geographic videos on this little mantis shrimp, right? And then I'm watching it, and I go down to the comments, and it's all Logan Paul comments.
Oh my
It's like, how many
gosh.
of you are here to see if this is really the coolest animal ever? It is. It is. My JoJo hair don't lie. They call it the boxer shrimp. Okay, see, Chase knows. They call it the boxer shrimp. Okay, that makes more sense because that thing was flicking out and like it was just destroying stuff.
Oh,
It is pretty cool. I'm always really impressed as somebody who likes videography on how they manage to video catch some of these National Geographic things. It's like stunt birds.
Right.
You ever seen that? They're like, here's the prey, and it'll be like a little bug, and the camera's like right there, and it's perfectly in frame. Why the lizard comes in slow motion and grabs like the fly and stuff, and
They use those lenses that are super
Yeah.
long so they can get really close even though they're not really close.
is that what it is? See, and it's just like it always. That's the thing that amazes me the most. Like, it's like in that video, the shrimp or the mantis shrimp's gonna go and eat this bug thing, and the bug just crawls along and parks just right on frame and just turns right to the camera and is like, hey, and then the mantis thing comes over and jacks it up, and you're like, wow, that's that's amazing.
Camera magic.
Yeah.
You should know that by now.
I know, but it's just awesome how they're able to catch, because a lot of these moments in the National Geographic stuff, which is on Disney Plus, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's like 1 in a million shots, unless that stuff's happening all the time.
No matter what I watch on any of those like National Geographic shows with animals, if I try to watch any of them, the dogs are glued to the TV.
Really? What is it? Is
Yeah.
it the noises?
I think it's the outside noises, but I also think like they always react to like the birds, especially any of the little small critters. Memphis will stare and watch for a while, but Kira will like look around the corner of the TV like a cat.
No
like,
way,
where
really?
Where did it go?
Oh,
yeah.
that's cute. I need to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I
yeah.
can visualize
She
it.
definitely likes to watch. I have you can look on Google. You can look up videos for cats,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like full screen, super up close videos of like squirrels and birds coming in and
Yes.
like eating things. I can put that on the big TV in the living room, and she just thinks that's the greatest thing ever.
We're doing it. All of my cats, Rizzo will sit there and she'll watch the stuff goes by. For some reason, she liked a lot of Fail Army. She would watch a lot when I put Fail Army on back before they sucked. She would park and
Right.
watch Fail Army. And the kitten one time, I was moving a mouse around on the, and I'm looking at like my wall where my television is. She would
Right.
follow the mouse around. Other cats, they don't care at all.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna find it. YouTube. I think Mooch liked the touchscreen that we had, the ones with like the little beetles running across
yeah.
that you would smooch. Mooch liked that for a minute. I think one time ever I watched Mooch or Tails. I don't remember what it was. I'll have to ask Crystal. Scare themselves in the mirror. Otherwise, the cats don't want to do that. They don't care about the cucumber at all. They don't care about the
Right.
cucumber. What do you guys? What would you call it? Cat.
Videos for cats is what I looked up.
Videos for cats. So otherwise they don't want to do anything. They don't.
Yeah,
The next thing-
Chris Erickson made one of them little iPad videos that like the spiders would come across, and you could set your little iPad or whatever on the floor for the cats. What
They
are you
do it?
doing?
Huh. Yeah, see, my cats, I don't think my cats want to. Oh my god, these videos are 9 hours long. Holy cow. Is that so if
Yeah.
you're going to leave for the day and you want your house
Yep.
destroyed? Because if they start jumping at the TV, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's an HD video. I'm going to fast forward a little bit since it's 9 hours. Oh, great. A mid-roll ad, because that's what the cat wants to go after. A mid-roll ad. Hey, look, Mooch. Look. What's on
And
this
now
TV?
the cat's
I just
distracted.
aimed his head at the TV because he was sleeping, and he just goes thunk right back to sleep. Look. We'll see throughout the the podcast if they care at all, but it's just birds. That's the ultimate torture. That's like for me if somebody put a bunch of like moving cheeseburgers on the screen, and I was like, oh, there's gonna be cheeseburgers, and then there's no cheeseburgers.
There's a birds one, and then there's like come here. There's a squirrel
fish.
one. Oh my goodness, you're spinning my chair around.
Oh, here I'll make Kira bigger. There we
Hi.
go. There
Can I
we
help
go.
you? Don't kiss me. It's gross. Hi. Oh, okay.
She's cute. What does she want? Like, what is this for?
She wants me to pet her.
Why
She would like
ears,
to be
why are your ears
petted
back?
right here. I would like to be petted right here.
That is cute.
That's all. That's all. I just want to be petted. I would like all of the attention in the world, please. Nobody's paying attention to me right now. So I'm gonna come up here and y'all can pay attention to me. Say hi guys, look at me. I'm so cute.
She's cute. Let's get this dang logo out of the way. Here, I'll just move over.
It's like I would take all of the attention. Everybody should just pay attention to me all of the times. You're so cute. What? What do you want? You were just out.
She's just here to ham it up. Look at she's like stopped the show so we can just sit in the light. I'm just like, oh.
It's like hi, look good, camera. You're a dork.
She's
What
soft.
if I stop?
She looks so much bigger than I was there.
She is so much bigger than when you were here.
Oh my gosh.
She's 40 pounds now. Watch what happens when I try to stop petting her.
I get that with Tails, and he just claws my face. Like, look, this is cute. I'm
Right.
like, stop. Please stop. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Why you're being cute, Kira. PJ with the super chat. The Incredible Dr. Pol is my favorite show. I think he's an awesome vet, and also he's a local. I think I've seen there's like a lot of stuff by that guy, but I have not watched any of it. Do you watch it?
I haven't watched any of it. He's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
Everybody
hard
says
time
hi.
watching those pet shows, even though I like them. But I'm always afraid of like the sad stuff. Like I don't want to watch the vet stuff. I want to watch like the happy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Move the turtle out of the road. We would get that a lot out here because we have a lot of desert tortoises. Turtles or tortoises, I'm not sure what it is. Real quick, the bird started chirping on the screen, and there's a squirrel, and Mooch's ears, even though he's sleeping, his ears still went. Wah. Oh, I have him. He went, whoop. Oh, maybe it will work. Maybe some of these other cats will come out.
Right?
And see.
That's not for you.
She pulls a Memphis. Oh, I know. Where is Memphis? Down there sleeping on the floor?
Yeah, she's right down there on the floor. If Kira takes 2 steps
chilling.
back, she'll step on her. Don't step on you, Memphis.
Everybody says, pet her for me, please. We've look at the chat room is literally 90% the word Kira. Oh. Pam says, when we leave, we put Animal Planets on for the dogs. Do they just rip apart your house? How do they not rip apart your house?
What about dog TV?
That's a thing?
Dog TV? Yeah.
Oh, here, I'll fix you real quick. Oh. Now you're back in your Fast and the Furious chair.
Yeah. Like that.
So, I had other stuff here. Yes, okay. We have 25% off our merch code still going on until tomorrow. When I set the merch codes, Jess, I put it to expire Monday. Does that mean it goes through the end of the day Monday, or at midnight tonight it's gone?
I think it's end of the day Monday.
Okay,
I think
so you
is
guys
what
throw
it
at
is.
the end of the day Monday. If you want to use coupon code Stay Inside, you'll get 20% off all orders. And we actually moved a lot of merch.
Did we?
Yeah, thanks. They were collecting dust.
Hopefully it'll show up and people can post pictures.
I know, because our friend sent us that box like a month ago from Australia, and it hasn't come yet.
They said international shipping has been really slow.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I mean, like, it's got to go all the way around the world, and it's not like everybody's at full capacity right now. Although I see everybody's hiring.
There's a lot of places hiring right now. Even here, there's a lot of places hiring. I was surprised. Like, I was really surprised.
I don't want to be a post office person. I don't. I'm the sheep. I don't want to. So, speaking of everybody staying inside and stuff like that, I tried to watch Saturday Night Live the other day, which how do you guys feel? How do you guys feel in the chat about Saturday Night Live? I feel that all Saturday Night Live is pretty much awful, except for you love the era that you grew up in Saturday Night Live.
I think I love the era I grew up in and the era before that.
Well, the era before that is when they first started with Bill Murray and stuff like that. So that set the bar. And then I was like Will Ferrell, we were before Tina Fey. It was Will Ferrell. It was like
Yeah.
Sherry O'Terry. It was Mike Myers.
Adam Sandler.
Which he was great. Remember Opera Man? Opera Man.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah. So it was great. Then like you kind of grow out of it when like you got the guy from Good Burger and the Mighty Ducks on, and you're like, even though I like Kenan Thompson, like I think he's pretty funny, but it's hard for me to like. It's so cringy half the time. It's so cringy. So I'm like, okay, cool. They're gonna do this episode from home. What was I thinking? Whew.
Yeah.
Man.
I tried to watch it after you said you should watch it. I watched the monologue and I watched like the first two and I shut it off.
Chris Kattan. Oh my gosh, do you remember when he was like that monkey thing and he would just eat the apples and he would just tear through the apples? Gosh, what was his name? And he just run around like a monkey. That was funny and that was it. I couldn't do Fred Armisen. Like he drove me nuts. Okay, so I tried. Okay, so they did it from home. I was curious. It was an hour long. I'm like, okay, we'll talk about this on the podcast. And I watched it. And like you said, like the monologue was done by Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
But
yeah.
I couldn't tell if he was in front of a green screen or at his house or not. I couldn't.
That was his house.
Was it his house? I couldn't really tell. He did have a couple jokes in there. Otherwise, it was dead for a while.
Yeah.
And nobody still, after all the years you guys have been on television in the industries, can frame a shot, can sound a shot. Please don't shoot like your skit that's not funny in the middle of the foyer of your mansion where the sound's just bouncing around. But then again, don't shoot a podcast 10 feet from the road where you hear people riding wheelies up my street. So I tried to watch it and it just didn't work. Oh my God, Chris Kattan. PJ with the super chat, the Spartan cheerleaders. Oh my gosh. But after a while they would just do it every week.
Yeah.
Every week they would do it, and I'd be like, no. I think one of my favorites was probably Dana Carvey when he did Injured Head Wound Harry, and he'd show up to the parties with his big old head wound, and it'd be all awkward and stuff. But so I tried to get through that, and I just, man, it was hard. It was hard to get through it.
I couldn't get through it. I couldn't do it. I watched the first girl doing whatever the heck she was doing with all the stuff written, and I'm like, I can't.
It is interesting how you think bits are funny in your head, and then sometimes they just don't work.
It wasn't funny.
But I've gone through that too.
Funny.
I'm not trying to say that I'm like, I love Jimmy Fallon on SNL. Okay, I love Jimmy Fallon, but the guy couldn't keep a straight face. He kayfabed every skit. Here's my Jimmy Fallon impression. Oh yeah, I know. It's like, dude, keep it together, bro. You beat out like 400 million people to get on this show, and keep it together. But I will say, what he's doing on his Fallon show, like, that's undisputable. Like, good writers, good stuff. He's got good line delivery. He's likable. I'm still more of a Kimmel fan. I loved Conan O'Brien for a lot of years, and now I kind of just like, I'm a little annoyed.
Conan O'Brien, I really liked Conan O'Brien over everybody else. And it's not the same anymore. I did like Conan O'Brien.
It's the writers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that goes through a lot of things. Okay, like I said a million times, I know I love Silicon Valley. That show was the greatest show, and every episode was great, and every character was great on that show. And then after I watched the show, I went to YouTube and tried to watch all the supplement stuffs. They are not funny on their own at all. But like the guy said, if you love us, you love the writers. So I think that's what happened with Conan. When he was doing his show, it was fine. Then when he went over to when he got like Leno's job, which was the biggest mistake ever,
right? That
was weird. And then he got budgeted back, and his stuff just got, I don't know. I liked him, and then now like I'm kind of like put off by him a little bit.
He's on TBS now, isn't he?
He was, and then his show turned into like, it went from the bird just landed on the post and pooped and flew away. I'm sorry, now I'm the one that's interested in what's going on the TV here.
Plastic
oh my
bag,
gosh, Mooch, wake
bag,
up, you're missing it. He was doing his show, and then I think he got burnt out or something, so it stopped being every night, and then he would like go pre-film stuff, and it was just like skits, and it was very much a machine broken down into like 5-minute things that were palatable for small social medias.
Right.
And then he's trying to do something out of his house, and that's just not working.
Yeah.
Yes. We all gave up. If you're a television person, everybody's given up on hygiene. Yeah. I did watch this. I was on BuzzFeed because now I'm addicted to BuzzFeed because of last week's topic. I was on BuzzFeed and it's like 44 celebrities that like just like went gray. And like, you should see how many people out there that I'm like, oh my gosh, I just hit a time machine and all the actors and actresses that I love were like gone to the future and now they're all gray. They're all gray. Sarah Silverman had black hair and it's all gray now. And
what did they say? Salons are non-essential?
I guess so. Kevin Hart is all gray too. I'm like, you're not gray. You're like 25.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought that was a little shocking. Don't go to that unless you want to be shocked by what's in the future.
Unless you want to see reality?
Unless you want to see reality, yeah. Unless you want to see reality. Fallon is a hack, says Jim Johnston. Whew. I actually was asking people on the Facebook page like questions and stuff, and he wanted to know the story of my little fingers, like what accident I happened to make them both this way. And the first thing I thought...
Wait.
You can wait a few more times, I'll keep drinking.
You better come up with a good story. I want a story. I want a story before the real story. I want the story like you tell the story when people ask you when we're out in public, how'd you get your hair to do that?
And that's the thing. Nobody's ever asked me about my fingers. So with my hair thing, I have a million hair stories. Nobody has ever asked me what happened to this.
And you can't make that up on the fly?
I mean, I guess so. So there I was in kindergarten trying to count to 10. And the teacher is like, for everyone you get wrong, because she was in the mob, I will whack your pinky. And so I counted to 9. I don't know. I don't have a good story for that. I don't, but I thought it was amusing that he thought that something happened to both of them. Like exactly the same. Is it exactly the same on both of them? It's my little heart emoji. Oh. There's a picture of me like making my first communion or something. I don't know, saying shithead, sitting there with my parents, and I'm like this, and I'm like 11 or 10, and my fingers are that way. They didn't notice it though. So they kind of go straight, but not really. I was born this way. My rubber bands aren't long enough. Like I've said before, it sucked. It sucked making turkeys on Thanksgiving. There was no tail to my turkey when I'm trying to trace my hand. High fives are 4.5s. I pet an animal and my finger goes in their ears every time. I try to take stuff out of my hair. I poke my own eye. I mean, the positive is I don't drop any drinks because I have this built-in cup holder. That's fine. I can grip stuff like Bob Dole.
I had to wear special shoes as a kid.
Oh yeah, to make you taller?
No.
Or less sassy?
No, because I was born with my feet turned in, pigeon-toed.
That's why there's signs that say don't drink the water out there. You'll get North by North foot. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, so did it fix it?
I had to wear special shoes to straighten out my feet and my knees. Didn't work.
No?
Well, I mean, it worked. Right. They're not as crooked, but most people, when you stand, your feet are slightly out. My feet are still in.
Is that why you wear like orthopedic Skechers?
Probably.
Oh, like what happens when you run? Are you like one of those plastic wind-up things that have the plastic pieces? Or it's all...
Who's running?
Have I ever seen you run? Yes. One time we briskly jogged through like Vidcon or something. We were trying to get somewhere, and you kind of like, I don't know. I think you more like power walked, but
yeah, I'm really good at that. Since Jamie's a whole foot taller than me, I am really good at power walking. Because when he wants to walk fast, I have to keep up.
That's right, because his hips are like up here. So that pendulum swings.
Yeah.
How tall is he? 6'2"?
He's 6'1".
6'1"?
He's a full foot taller than I am.
And you're 5'1".
Yeah.
On the outside.
Right.
6'6" on the inside. Can you force your pinky flat? Oh, yeah, but it locks. It like locks. I looked it up.
See it. You could actually see it like pop into the lock, but don't do it again. That's gross.
Okay, so what it is right here. I found out they need to go in there and they need to take out that bone, and then they need to like put a new a new trench there, and then that'll help my rubber band a little bit. But my rubber bands just aren't long enough, so I figured it out. But it does stuff like this. This is bad. That's just when I move my arm, it does that. So I don't know.
Thanks for the warning.
Oh, I wasn't gonna tell you. I started to take down my other fingers, but that's it.
Yuck.
I know, huh? But yeah, so that's as good. That's as fat. That's as flat as my fingers go. It was hard. I'd play basketball and I'd try to palm the ball and it would lock and I'd have to pull the ball out of my other hand, and so it was hard to play basketball. Bowling sucks. Oh my gosh, bowling sucks because I don't know what to do with this thing. Part of me wanted to get them cut off. Maybe Red Bull would pay for because that's something Red Bull would do, right? They'd be like the Red Bull fingering and like defingering and sponsored by Red Bull, and it'd be live, and then like they would chop off my finger and then like, oh, it gives you wings, and then my hands would be better. It'd be better without it, except for I don't want to look like a Simpson.
Oh my goodness.
Hannah says, you and me, Jess, are the same height. Oh, twinsies. Ouch, that was shivering. That's just my hand. That's just my... I was born this way, like Lady Gaga said.
Now somebody wants to know how tall you are.
I am 5'10" with my hair down. I'm 5'10". Blake's already 6 foot.
Holy cow, is he really?
Yeah, Blake's tall. Blake's 6 foot.
He was tall last time I saw him.
Yeah, when I saw him the other day, like I said, with him and his big old Amish beard that he had going on there, and it's like, and some of you guys that like have like split house families know this. Like when your kids grow up and they go away to like their mom's or dad's house for like a week and then they come back, they have like a whole new set of vocabulary. Or like even you, like when you don't see John Matthew for a while, then you see him, like he's like a whole different person. Like, whoa, like how did you learn those 43 words?
He gives high fives now.
See, he didn't before, right?
No.
Last time I saw him, he was just sitting in the back of the wagon on Halloween, which is really super rad. That was super rad. But
the tractor wagon.
The tractor wagon. But when I talked to Blake this time, I don't know. He had faster talking cadence. Like he leveled up. So I'm like, oh, you used to be in me, and now you're so big. You're so big, Blake. Oh, I miss him. I know he's not watching now, but if you are, but yeah, I miss him. After I took him over to Harbor Freight to get some stuff for his class, I sat in the car and talked to him for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, I missed the kid. PJ said, I'm 6'2". See, to me, you guys are all like this big because I only see you. You guys are as big as this. That's what I see you in. Yes.
I knew PJ was tall because I've met him in person.
Have you? Okay. Sarah says, I'm 5'7". Oakley fan says, I'm 5'4", 5'11", 5'4", 5'10". Okay.
It is kind of interesting to go down here and be like, yep, I've met Crystal and PJ and Sarah and Becky and Chase. That's kind of interesting to go down and be like, hey, I've met some of these people, and I'm just short. One
of the things I had to do at the bike shop is measure people for bikes. You have to have the appropriate size bike, otherwise it doesn't work right. And I had like a 90% success rate. And I could go in there and I could just gauge just from your eye height versus them and stuff like that. I was able to pick out people's heights pretty well. It would be super impressive. So yep, so I always work at a Kearney area trying to guess people's heights.
I have the smallest girls' bike that Giant makes. When I went and got my bike, because that's what they made me do. They made me sit on a bunch of bikes and make sure that I could fit on certain bikes. And then they had to special order the smallest bike, the smallest adult. It's still an adult bike. Yeah. The smallest adult bike that Giant makes. Those extra
small bikes are like 4'7" to like 5 foot, because you don't have long legs.
Right.
You, like from your hip to where it like connects to the swinging point is low, so you have to get the bikes that have like that low standover. But then you still have to have the same size tires. So I get it. You're a special order because I'm not stocking that for the 3 people that are this tall that want to ride bikes. Yeah, you are short. You're not short. You're fun size. Don't Sarah. Don't get her started. Steven with the super chat. Hey guys, I made it. How's it going? Great. I feel great with my hair. I feel like I'm ready to do a TikTok dance.
But will you?
Oh, that was it right there. That's all I remember. Sorry. If I want to be famous on TikTok, I gotta pop my bra off, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. I've always preferred short women. Well, that's not good in the bike industry. Like, those means I have to like pay for shipping. When Jess comes in to order a bike, I'm like, dang, I gotta pay for shipping. I miss having a bike so much. I sold all my bikes.
You sold all of them? Yeah. You don't have any?
Uh-huh. I'm all or nothing. I'm all or nothing, and now I don't have one. I kind of regret it a little bit because right now, like, it would be pretty. I mean, I guess it would be nice to ride around here. Probably don't want to ride around my neighborhood too much.
Right?
I can't do a TikTok. No, I can't. I can't do a TikTok. No. How's your TikTok doing, Jess?
I didn't upload one yet today. I was trying to figure out today what I was going to upload, but it's still growing. People are still watching it. I have like a list of ideas of things that I want to do. I just need to actually like do them.
Oh,
My
right.
problem is like I watch a lot of TikToks and then I favorite them. So I'll favorite them and I'll be like, okay, I want to do this and this and this and this. And then like weeks go by and it's not trending anymore. And I go back to my list and I'm like, oh, well.
I want to talk about the one that you were gonna do, but I don't know if I should give it away.
I haven't done it yet.
We shouldn't give it away. We shouldn't give it away to you.
I thought about it today. I was trying to figure out how to film it. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do and how I wanted to frame it. And if I wanted, because I have the audio. I recorded the audio and I have that. So I'm like, I sat down today and tried to think about how to frame it and how to make it look, but I will do it. I will. Maybe after this, I will do it.
That's going to be good. That's going to be a fun one. I still want to do the one where we're all passing stuff through.
Yes. Yeah, that was the one that Winter Pomsky sent me today. Was the one where people are standing behind their dogs with their paws, and the dogs are. You take your dog's paw and you hit a roll of toilet paper, and it goes to the next screen, and it's the next dog, and they pet. We could do it with a hockey puck.
I have lots of hockey pucks.
I have one. Everybody would have to have one.
Does it say Detroit on it?
But yes, it does. I have one that says Detroit, but I also have one that says Ice Diggers.
Oh, okay, from the minor league team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was.
So we gotta figure out what to do with it and what to pass. I like the idea of the bowl of food. The bowl of food.
Yes, even though tomorrow is 420.
Oh no! We should do it tomorrow.
We can just be bowls. I thought it was funny.
We need to make that happen.
It's so interesting how like marijuana is really is gone from something that would like get you thrown in jail for life to like it's like the poo emoji, and then everybody loves it now. For instance, I logged into the Call of Duty Warzone, and you know how like the game's free, but you pay for all your skins and stuff, and it's just straight up the like the leaves all over the gun and stuff like that. Like there's no like hiding it. There's no like anything about it now. It's just like all out. It's just like all out and into the open. So yeah, I guess you could. I guess tomorrow you could do that. Rhett and Link nailed it though. Did you see the one Rhett and Link did with the soap?
Yeah.
Just when I counted them down and out.
Yeah, I saw that one, and I had seen that one before, and I'd seen a couple other ones. I had seen a couple other ones that I really liked, but I don't know. I like the idea of the bowl. Now I like the idea of the bowl even more because tomorrow's 420 and it'll be a bowl of food. But we got to get everybody to do it. And then do we do it with the dog? Do we just leave the pets out of it, or do we do one where it doesn't matter? Like, so many thoughts. Because we could do one without the dogs. I could upload it to the Snow Dogs Vlogs TikTok, and it could just be all of us and our friends that do TikTok.
It depends on what you want to do. Do you want to make some views on it? Because then the dogs should do it. And if you're not a dog channel, kind of like the Full House thing. Like if you're going to be on brand with it, then that. If you just want to have fun with it, then we could all just have fun with it. Because I don't have a dog, but like if you want it to be like on brand, then do it with the pets.
I think tomorrow we should just do one and put it up on the Snow Dogs Vlogs. I think I've got almost 6,000 followers there, so everybody should.
I'll be here.
Gain from that. Yeah, we should do that. After this, we should discuss that and then be like, quick, everybody, give me a clip of this.
I really enjoyed the video of the dogs jumping over the toilet paper. So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. All the way from the thumbnail to the video, I thought that was really good.
I had a lot of people that were like, now you need to see what else they can jump over. And this needs to be a thing, and they need to jump over things. And I'm like, this is my new bucket of video content, the dogs jumping over things. I mean, Memphis is really good at it.
It is. I think when you hit the million, you should find a million like Orbeez or a million something and have the dogs jump over a million something.
A million, like the balloons that say a million, and have them jump over it.
There you go. Right. Yes.
We could fill the pool, but before we actually fill the pool, we can fill it with plastic balls, make a ball pit.
No, I still think Roman Atwood's balls are still traveling around. They went to his house, and they all remember that video because they got wet, and they still put him in the house wet, and then afterwards the balls ended up at Rocket Jump, and they made that amazing ball video in their offices where like it was like a movie, and I thought that was awesome, where the ball people get sucked down and stuff like that. And then they got loaded up, and gosh, where did it get sent to? It got sent to another company. So I've seen the same balls everywhere, and I'm like, oh, I know they didn't dry all of them off. I know they still had to be damp where they're going. That was a lot of balls. When they rolled up that truck and you saw all those bags, that was a lot. That was a lot. They did.
Roman Atwood had kept a whole bunch of them for the one. That reminds me, I haven't seen videos from him in a while either. They put a whole bunch of them in the one playroom in their house, and their dog Flash went in there and went to the bathroom all over them.
Yeah, I'm scared to have a ball pit because the cats are going to be like, boop, right in the ball pit. I don't know if my cats will jump over anything. No. I mean, Mooch is like halfway hanging off the couch, just like out and crashed out. Tails would just like look at it and probably just go lay down and not even care. Like, oh, I guess this is just where I live now, and just go lay down. And the other cats are too afraid. So I don't know if I could get them to jump over everything. I have 1.25 rolls of toilet paper left. So maybe
you'll get a care package in the mail.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, this is what it's come down to. Jess went and got toilet paper for me today in Michigan. You're gonna send me some toilet paper. Is it prank toilet paper with like the governor on it?
Maybe.
Governor Baskins.
You didn't specify what it had to be.
I mean, like I sent the gift the other day to Blake of just like the dog dragging his butt on the ground.
Right.
That'll be me. I don't know. And okay, so Comic-Con 2020 canceled. People are surprised by that.
When was it supposed to be?
It's in June or July. It's like July maybe. June, July.
It doesn't surprise me because it's in such a time where, like, yes, it looks like in most states and throughout the United States that everything is starting, that we've hit the top of the curve and now everything is starting to come down. But at the same time, like, all of the money that goes into those events when it comes to like June and July, if you're not 100% sure and you can bail now and get the insurance money, because a lot of these people have, event insurance and things like that. So if you can get out now and get the insurance money to cover what you invested, it probably makes more sense, because if you wait too long, then you can't cancel, or you can cancel, but you won't get any money back from it. So it's a really iffy. I will know by the first week of May whether or not PetCon Chicago is happening.
That's supposed to be in June?
June 20th.
That's not happening. It takes months and years. Like, they're already planning on next year's now. Like, it's not enough time. Because I know a lot of people, first of all, people were crying, and I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't say they canceled the Taylor Swift concert, so they pushed it back a year. So now, like, I'm a little bummed about that. Did you cry?
Say yes.
I didn't cry on the outside, but on the inside, I was sad, and so I started playing Taylor Swift songs in my head because I was sad about it. But they're gonna move it to next year. They'll move it to next year, but I was a little sad. But I was trying to think, like, it's gonna happen. It takes too long to put on these venues.
Yeah, like PetCon isn't huge, so for them, I don't think it's as big of a deal. Like, it's not like it's huge like Comic-Con or like VidCon or any of these things where there's so much that goes into it. PetCon's done in a much smaller scale. I mean, you saw it in LA, very small scale. Wouldn't take much for them to still be able to pull it off. But again, how many tickets are they going to sell? Are people, even if the country opens back up, are people going to come? Are they actually going to, will the attendance be what it would be if they would just hold off until later on in the year or next year? It's hard to say.
The negative is just going to outweigh the positive, and people are going to be angry about it.
Yeah, but, I mean, it is. VidCon was canceled.
They canceled VidCon like a month ago.
Yeah, they canceled VidCon, over a month ago now.
They should have canceled VidCon like 3 years ago.
Right. I think canceling VidCon was probably a good idea when they did it, because I think a lot of people were able to get, like, part of their money back from their Airbnbs and stuff like that. And they did it far enough in advance where a lot of people I don't think had actually gotten their hotels and stuff yet. But now they're rumoring that VidCon might happen in the fall, that it might happen in October.
That's fine, but there's only so many weekends in a year, and at the Anaheim Convention Center, that's prime real estate. We have BlizzCon that's there. I think Anime Expo is there. No, Anime Expo's in Los Angeles. There's all kinds of E3s there. I think they canceled E3 this year. Like, so you know, I guess since they canceled a bunch of other stuff, I guess you could get back in, but there's already other stuff booked. You know?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they actually move. I feel like with VidCon, they should just move it to next. It should just be done this year and move it to next year. I think if they have it in October, it's not going to work because all the little tweeny boppers that normally come and run around on the bottom floor screaming, they're all going to be in school. Maybe. But either way, you know, like in October, they usually have it in June. That's when the kids are out of school. So a lot of people can do the traveling. So I feel like October might not work as well for them as they think, and they probably should just postpone it. But the Blessing of the Jeeps, they canceled that this year. This was the 19th year, and they canceled it. So that's not happening.
Just 2020 is just over. And who said something? It was Hannah said, they're just going to let me graduate this year of school and not do any of the exams. I want
weird.
I would rather going back wait an extra year and have my senior year of fun than just be like, you're free to go and just boom, blessed and you're gone. I'm like, no, like don't miss out on all that fun and senior prom and prank day that you guys have that we didn't. So that I don't know how I feel about that.
I know I'm kind of the same way. Like, as much as it sucks that half the year was done, a little over half the year was done, I feel like everybody should just pick up next year as if it was the kindergartners should still go into kindergartner that were supposed to start next year, but everybody else, instead of moving forward, just goes through the same thing again. I know it sucks, but I just feel like a lot of people are going to miss out on a lot of stuff by just, you didn't get to go to school for the last 4 months. Well, that's okay. You can just go on to the next grade. I just feel like, especially kids that have a harder time learning and have issues with, like processing all that stuff, I feel like it's going to knock them back even further. Some people would be fine. Some people would just, whatever. They're just going to go into the next thing and it's going to be fine and they're not going to have an issue at all. But I feel like the majority of kids, it's not going to work like they think it's going to. And then, a lot of the schools are coming up with like these home curriculars and things you have to do at home so that you can keep up with it. But not every parent is made out to help their kids along in these things. So I don't know, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and these kids are stressed out. Why do they have to go and try to study and learn when they're all stressed out? When I go up the street, there's an elementary school there and the schools are supposed to be shut down, but when I go by there's cones and there's all these traffic going in and out as they're getting packets, which is fine. Keep the kids' brains moving, keep them moving a little bit, but like to hold them to some sort of metrics, that might be hard. Here, how about this scenario? What about this, Jess? We cancel 2020, including all our birthdays and ages, and we just start again next year. And we just start again. So we don't, nothing clicks over.
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing clicks
a free
over.
Year.
I know, right? Huh. They still have to write exams. That's a hard one.
It's crazy because, I'm taking an 8-week course or 8 weeks of classes, but it's a 12-week course. And, I got into week 4 or 3 or whatever, and everything started happening, and I was just like, nope, I'm not, this is not something I can function on. I have so much going on. I did good in school. I did good in that stuff, and I couldn't focus on it. I would try to watch a video and try to do my workbook, and it was just my brain was in a whole nother area, and I can't even imagine being a teenager or being a young kid, and they don't know what's going on. I'm an adult. I know what's going on. They're a kid. They have no idea. And now you're like, you got to do all your schoolwork and you got to do all your things. Some kids will process better with something to do like that. But like you said, for some of them, it's not easy.
It's not. And you know what I just forgot about? And I think a Mystic said, Mystic Atsume said, I would cry if I had to repeat junior. I forgot, what would happen if you were a freshman twice in a row? I'd be pissed. I'm sure they would. A lot of kids aren't going to want to have to be in school for an extra year and things like that. But then there's the opposite side of it, where I've been reading things, especially from like my nieces and stuff that have kind of said that they're like, we did all this work and we don't get our senior year. We don't get all the things we worked for. We went to school for all these years, and now it's just over. It's just over. So there, there's that's true. Loki said the school board wants Jen to start doing video work with her kids from home. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of good a little bit to still show the kids hey, look, we're all okay. I don't know how old these kids are.
what do you do with the kids that can't access the internet? Where we live in a rural community, like Greg barely has good internet at his house. We have people that still have satellite internet, and we have kids that go to our school that don't have internet at home and don't have access to it. They don't have 4G in their house. They don't their cell phones don't work when they go home. So what do you do with those kids?
Well, here in California, Spectrum will give you 90 days free if you have a student, if you don't have service at all, and you have a student in your home. But that doesn't mean that they have a computer or smartphone or anything, which leads us...
Spectrum doesn't reach everywhere.
That's the thing. California, yeah, but maybe not like, in BFE where you're at, where it's like 20 miles in between each home. I don't know.
Yeah. That's what it is. Like, even where my parents' farm is, so like there's a road called Wooster Road. So there's the main road, and then the road my parents' farm is on. Wooster Road is right here. That's where Spectrum Internet ends. My parents' farm is only a quarter of a mile away, but we cannot get internet. They don't have enough power to push internet any further, even if because we could pay to run the lines, but they have to have a whole nother hub system put in because they don't have the power to push the internet any further. So everybody out there, they can't get high speed. They can't get broadband internet.
They wanted $50,000 at the bike shop to run the line from the street to the bike shop, because we had not dial up, but we had like a DSL, and it was really horrible. It was really horrible when you're like, oh, let me bring up all the colors that I can show you. Let's just let me do like a 5-minute stand-up routine while this thing loads. They wanted 50. They wanted 50 for it. So I'm like, so that's and that brings back to the thing of like some countries. I think the internet's free, right? It's like a necessity.
Some places think it is, yeah.
Not our net neutrality place. And it's hard for me to make a serious statement with my hair like this. Like how... Oh, no. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with Blake and his class. I don't know if they're going to push it forward for a few months. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah. Somebody said, how could seniors come back if they're away at college? Well, they'd have to come back because they didn't really graduate high school. Like, if they did it like that, you wouldn't actually be graduating high school and going on to college just like that. You would actually have to repeat it. But there's no right answer. I don't feel like there's any right answer. I feel like it also could be where parents should have the option to say they want to hold their kids back, or have the option to let their kids test into the next level.
Right.
That's the other thing that I think might not be a bad idea. Like, if you can test into the next level, you can go into 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. But if you can't test into it, you probably should go through your grade again.
This is no right answer, because this is something that's never been predicted before.
No right answer.
All right, here we go. It's been a little bit. Let me see if I can do this, guys.
I have no idea what he's doing. Oh, the cats.
Oh, the green
screen.
She's... Make it so you can't really see it, but she was trying to get to the birds.
Now she's looking at you like, are you watching me?
Yep, but a second ago she was pawing at the TV. Mooch,
That's
on the other
funny.
hand, wants nothing to do with it. But yes, she's made her way out from being sketched out under the bed, out here and up there.
She's like, you should just leave this on when the worker guys are here.
I thought that was cute. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what high school Dan would think about this. Oh my gosh. Did I get it right? Oh, I didn't get it right.
No. Still no.
It was still worth it.
There you go.
Yes. So, I don't know. Let's just say 2020 is canceled. Yeah. Yes, it's canceled, but at the same time, like, people like Jess and a little bit of me, like, this isn't good at all. Like, I'm not making, like, light of this at all. But hello, every single person that's at home and can't go anywhere but watch our stuff.
Right?
Or everybody else's. And it took a few weeks to catch on, but so many more content creators are coming out. So many more, like, after-school special live show boogaloos are coming out.
Yeah.
So it's a surge of, like, online entertainment. Even right now, do I look crummy on your screen? If so, you should go down there and hit that little gear and put us at HD.
Right.
Because there's so much traffic on the internet right now that everything's being, like, dumbed down. I'm waiting for Dan's hair to turn into a propeller. Oh, it already did. It was actually up like this, and now it's here. I wonder what it would do if I took it out.
Take it out. See what happens.
Yes. I look like every anime character ever. Wow. Yes. Oh, I like it.
God.
Man, watch out, Naruto.
The new style.
So GameStop also is closing 300 stores. Oh my gosh.
I saw that.
300 stores. They made it longer than I thought. During the last console wars that came out, there was a rumor going around for a little bit that all the games are just going to be digital.
Yeah.
Because when you get a digital game, that's all fine and dandy. I love how my Switch came with Super Mario Odyssey on the DS. Well, I had to download it, but like it's on there.
Right.
So like I never have to go and find the cassette or anything, the cartridge, and I just play it. But at the same time, I have no resale value in it. Which, not sure when the last time I actually like sold a game really was. Oh no, I sold Breath of the Wild. Whew, what a stinker. Sorry, Steve. But for a while, they were going to be like, oh, the new console is going to come out. It's just going to be no discs. It's only going to be digital download.
Right.
Because the game console places, they hate GameStop. They really hate GameStop. They really do. And I don't know how you can get away with what they're getting away with. Is that, I mean...
With people trading in old games and reselling them?
Right, because I believe the story goes is that you do not own that disc. You own a license for that disc.
Right.
And that is yours. But once you get rid of it, it's not your property anymore. Like, do you remember back in the day, like back in the old like Tech TV days and like the early 2000s, like Kevin Rose would disassemble like Xboxes and PlayStation 2s and they would take them apart, and there was a big legality issue of like, you're not allowed to deconstruct our stuff. And then part of the law, and then Jess cut off. Oh no, don't leave. Here, I'll be Jess. I know, Dan, you're so right. I know, Jess, I am so right. Are you back? Oh no, she's not back. Ooh, PJ with a super chat. Not spending money on gas, more for super chats. Yes. I still have the same gas tank for like 3 weeks now. I still have the same gas tank for 3 weeks. Okay, like I was saying, so Kevin Rose would take apart the PlayStations and there would be like big legal issues of it. And it's like, well, I bought it, like, don't I own it? So I don't know. I remember for a while, remember jailbreaking phones?
Yes.
Yes, you could jailbreak your phone, but then they're like, well, we're not covering it anymore if it's jailbroken. And then people started getting in trouble for jailbreaking, because you just go to like jailbreak.com and just hit the button and it would jailbreak your phone. You could do all this cool stuff with it. But apparently if you outright own the phone, then you could do what you want to it. But if you're making payments on the phone, like I can't modify this phone right here because I don't own the phone. I'm making payments on the phone every month. But if I own the phone, then I could open up my own phone. I'm not sure. Right to repair. Yes. Okay. There's that.
Yeah.
You know, the guy did fix my screen. Psh, get down. You're gonna knock over the TV. The guy did fix my screen, but at that point, I think I didn't even outright own my phone. So anyway, so they really hate GameStop. They really hate the fact that they're not getting any money off of this rental thing, which I don't even know the logistics of it. I don't know how I feel about it. But yeah, they're starting to like go out of business, which I love the idea of GameStop.
It's not like people aren't just going to go to eBay and buy used games. You know, that's just what's going to happen. I mean, you can't trade them in, but you'll just go to eBay and sell your games and buy used games with the money you make.
You know what? You're right. I guess so. I've purchased a used game before, like I think online, like an old game I'm trying to get. So maybe so.
Do you remember half.com?
Yes. What happened to half.com?
It's gone.
Oh man, that's right. Oh dang.
I loved that website for buying books and games. I loved that
came
website.
And went.
Yeah.
Wow. Did Overstock make it?
Yes. Yeah, Overstock made it. That's where I bought... No, I didn't end up buying this desk from Overstock. I bought the desk that's downstairs from Overstock.
Okay. Yeah. Overstock. The Overstock was another one that took a big loss deliberately for a bunch of years just to get people going on it. Jim Johnson says GameStop deserves to go in there. Predatory business. Here's why I like GameStop. When I go in there, I am 360 surrounded by nerd stuff that I like, and I don't get a damn store. Like, there's not much cool, fun stores. There used to be Best Buy back in the days, and I love going in there because there's all these cool new things, and stuff's everywhere, and everybody's game talking, so I like that. But, you know, you've seen all the memes of, like, somebody goes in there with a stack of games, and they give them, like, $3.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't use it for that. I don't use it for that purpose. Man, I forgot about half.com.
Yeah, we don't have a GameStop here. We have it's called Chaotic Games. It's the exact same thing, only it's run by an individual.
Oh, is that in the mall?
Yeah, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the mall there was a game store, and then across from that there was like a like a board game store, like where you had like a lot of D&D stuff, and that little tiny mall, which was so odd. This mall was like a shrunken down version of the mall. It was like you went to your mall in a real city, but you only saw like the last 10 feet before it hit a JCPenney's. It was so tiny. What was in there? There was like a clothing store. There was 2 game stores. There was the Hungry Hippie.
The anchor stores for our mall used to be, we had 2. JCPenney was at one end and Kmart was at the other end. Kmart was actually in the mall.
Wow.
And our mall, they used to promote our mall as the largest mall in Northeast Michigan because it was.
Wow, really? That tiny thing? You can't even jog it. If you were a jogger or a power mall walker, you can't, like, you're taking NASCAR laps in there. Oh my gosh, it's so small. Do y'all have a Second and Charles in Michigan or California? I do not know what that is. So no, or like I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
No, so I have not seen that. I guess there could be one out here, but that's not something I've ever heard of that. I remember flashing your phones. I'm glad phone companies don't do that anymore. Oh, I never had to deal with that. I always had the iPhones. They just always worked. You know what? I do miss the bookstores too. I do miss, like, there used to be Walden's Books.
Yep.
Yeah, and I used to like the bookstores. The bookstores were fun. They had such a big rack.
When we used to live in Arizona, there was a place called Bookman's Used Books, and it was a used bookstore, and it had the same idea as GameStop. You could go in there and you could buy new books, but you could also bring your old books in, trade them in, and get credit to buy other things in the store.
See, that's cool. We do have one used bookstore out here, and it's a little tiny hole-in-the-wall bookstore. We have a Barnes & Noble, and she's still open. She's like, we sanitize all our books and scrub all our pages and stuff, and she's really trying hard. But how do you want to go to the bookstore when it's like, when you walk into a used bookstore, and that's anytime we go out of town or anywhere, Crystal loves books. They all look the same on the inside, which I don't get. It's just all like, this is small lines on brown pages. I'm looking at all our books over there. Yeah, and I'm looking at your books. The cat is literally going crazy for this. Oh my gosh. All the bookstores kind of have that musty booky smell, and everybody's touched it smell, kind of like Blockbuster Video. And I imagine right now that's a hard business to try to stay open.
I think it's a hard business to try to stay open in anyway. There's if she wants to own a bookstore, the one in our town is for sale, not for free.
Is it?
But the one we have a used bookstore that's for sale in our town.
Is it down by the deli and by the ice cream place and by the movie theater?
There's one down there. There's an actual bookstore down there, and I believe that one's for sale as well. And then we have a used bookstore that's for sale for $39,000. You could own your own bookstore.
Oh man, $40,000 for a bookstore? That's yeah, I mean, that kind of sounds cool, because here's the thing, like, although, like, I'm not into books, I can get behind it. There's always a cat in there. Is there a cat in this one?
I know there used to be. They moved to a new location, and I haven't been to the new location. When my aunt passed away, she had boxes of romance novels and all these books, and I kept going through them going, they were all in really good shape, but I didn't think anybody would want them. And then somebody was like, oh, take them to the used bookstore. So before I even took them up there, I went up there and I asked them, like, it's just boxes of, like, romance novels. They're like, we'll take all of them. We'll take every one of them you want to give us. And I'm like, okay. So
I don't get it. I don't get used romance novels. That's like used adult tapes. Like, oh, here's my collection. Here you go. Like, yeah, we'll take them. It's like, whoa.
Right.
Like, I don't want to see where the bookmarks left off of. Like, I don't want to see where, like, you hit stop on the tape. No, they all Fabio on the front cover.
Right.
But I do love the bookstores that have the little cats in them. There was a place that we went to in Michigan, and there was just cats hanging out there at the store, and they weren't trying to escape.
Oh, that was we went to the Adopt-a-thon for Alpena County Animal Facility.
Okay,
and they had all the kittens available for adoption.
No, we went to another place where we walked in, and there was cats that were in the window.
Great North, the pet store.
Was
Great
it the
North
pet store?
Supply.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That was Orange and Levi.
Yes, Becky said, oh gosh, Dan, there are worlds behind those lines, hidden gems. I know there are. Obviously, from the game show, I don't have the best reading comprehension. Like, when I get to the end of the line, I have to, like, take my finger and go to the front of the next line. Like, a return carriage on a typewriter can go back faster than I can. And then sometimes I skip a line or I read a line. It just doesn't. I did have a good time. Like I said, I did have a good time reading this on the way to Chicago. I read Felicia Day's book. And after a while, like I said, I wasn't reading no more. I was just, like, in the movie.
Right.
And that was
right.
cool, but those are few and far between for me. I have a lot of books that I would love to get rid of. We have so many books in the corner that I think our trailer is like leaned to one side. It's like a labyrinth or like a labyrinth that's just like leaned to one side from all the books. I wish I owned that skill. I just don't. Maybe I should try it. I don't know. I think I'm too ADD. Like, I'm not ADD.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't say that. I'm too just fast. Like, my brain's fast, and I try to write stuff, and I can't because my brain wants to do fast things. You see how bad of a texter I am, right?
Uh-huh. I have that same problem with reading. When I read, I really like to read, but it has to be a really, really, really good book because I speed read and I skip words. So when I, like... It always drives me nuts when we're trying to read things and Jamie and I are trying to read things at the same time, and I'm always like, I'm done. I'm like, I didn't read 30% of these words. I skip words when I read.
That's me and Crystal. She's done, and I'm still like following along.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
Every time. So yeah, Crystal just she'll speed read. She'll read a book in a night.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy. I can't do that.
Yep.
Jordan with the super chat. The campus bookstore is a park garage now. Oh, oh, that's kind of sad. PJ with the super chat. My favorite bookstore is Horizon Books in Traverse City. I've been there. Isn't that where we went to? Is that where I flew out of?
Yeah, you haven't been to the bookstore there, but you have been to Traverse City. That's where you flew out of.
It's going out of business. It was 3 stores. No. It was 3 stories, no pun intended. My second favorite bookstore is in St. Ignace.
You said it right.
But closed down a year ago. Yeah, like I said, we had a few of them in the mall. Now we have none. Where do you go to get a book now? Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble? Barnes & Noble is always super full price, though.
Yeah. Amazon.
Yeah. But even if I don't read books, I do like being in there. I like the covers. I like looking at the stuff.
Right.
So I do, but it does suck that these little bookstores are going out of business. There'd be no less than 2 or 3 in the mall.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had a Walden Books at one point in time in our mall.
I like Susie. I'm allergic to cats, but I love what our library does. Read to a dog. I did that a lot growing up. Okay. Think the cats would like start hissing at me if I read to them? I'm all about Audible now. I just can't afford credits. I just keep signing up for free Audible.
Right.
I wanted to. Oh, I know what it was. I wanted to do the follow up to Felicia Day's book. But here's the deal. So I signed up for Audible because I have this. So I have 2 Audible credits, and they're these exact books in Audible form. Even though I've read them, I got this used at a used. I got the iJustine one used in Ojai when I was up in Ojai, and I signed up with another credit card, and I just got my free credit, and then I canceled it because her latest book that came out, I wanted to listen to it, right? But it's a book that you have to read and do what you want on the pages. It's like that kind of book where you end up destroying the book, messing with the book.
Right.
And it was like a sad one. The other one that I did was Walter Isaacson's Steve Jobs audiobook. It's 26 hours long.
Holy cow.
I got through it all. If you want some inspirational stuff, that is a good read or listen.
Right.
I don't know. Do you remember for a while when it was in between where you could get audiobooks on CD?
Yes.
Yes. I think the one for Steve Jobs is like this thick. It's like thick like the DVD collection for Friends if you're into that type. And
I have a couple of audiobooks on CD.
Do you?
Yeah, I have the Aragon series.
What's that? Is that like Airwolf?
No, it's a series of books written by a young kid. But I have them in CD form.
Oh, okay. See, no, I've only gotten them via Audible, but I loved the Steve Jobs life story. I thought it was really good all the way up until he died. I thought it was good. What would it take for you to get through that?
A lot.
It was a lot. What it was is before I had the job at the bike shop, I had that print shop job. Remember?
Oh, right, yeah.
And there was nobody there, so I would just listen to audio stuff. That's where I got into podcasts, in the late 2000s. It's just that was my friend. There'd be a Game of Thrones podcast called Cast of Kings, and every single episode would be broken down, and it made so much sense to me. I loved that. But the Steve Jobs one was really good, but 26 hours of audiobooks, and I heard it's 3-to-1. I heard for every time you record an audiobook, it's triple the length of what you have to say to get it into a book.
That's a lot of music I could listen to.
I would love I could do audiobooks.
You
Little Miss Muffet. Yeah. I know the Aragon series was amazing. I think that was a movie. I'm sure book first.
The movie was horrible.
Yeah. Dude, I read the Harry Potter books in one night when I was a teen. Those things are thick. Those things are real thick. Yeah, Crystal's probably mad I'm having all this book talk without her. She's not even home.
So now, where's she at?
I don't know. She's all like trick or treating or something, or hanging out with people. She went over to Patty's house. They were gonna plant some flowers and I don't know, do taxes or whatever they're doing over there.
Right.
I know what it was. You remember how I ran out of toilet paper? Patty
Yes.
had some toilet paper, so I think Crystal went to go fetch some toilet paper, and then the other toilet paper is coming from you. This is what happens off screen. You want me to get you some toilet paper? It was on the phone. Here, let's redact it. All right, what are you doing? I'm getting toilet paper. What kind do you want? Do you want Charmin? Do you do you want Angel Soft? I'm like, could you just not get me single ply, please? Because that went really bad last time. Yeah, so yeah, that's what we do when we're not here podcasting.
Right.
I still have a CD player in the car, listening to the Kangaroo, Chronic, and Worship music. I don't have. I was just talking about that. I have a really expensive, like $2,000 computer. It doesn't have a CD player in it. I have this netbook here that's playing all the music. I don't have a CD player in it.
Mine does. I
What
don't
do you
know
do
if
with
it works.
Is it just a cup holder? You just pop it out and
Right. I think that's what it's for.
Yeah.
My desktop doesn't have a CD player, but my laptop actually does have a CD player.
It's sad. Blank CDs were a commodity, man. You get those nice verbatims. You're like, ooh, yeah. And then I have 100 packs still sitting somewhere for the archives.
Do you remember the ones that you could print on?
Yes, you put it in the HP machine and it would print on there. And then it was so thick that you couldn't get it into like a car CD player. It would suck it in and it would just stay there. And you're like, dang. It's at this mixed logo with and the resolution was never good. It was a blown out ICP logo.
Yep.
And it was just all pixelated and it would make your stuff wobble.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. You would print it on the paper.
There was the ones you could print on the paper, but then there was also the ones where you printed it directly to the disc.
Oh, that one I didn't see. I had the paper one, and then you had a whole separate machine you had to put your CD on and then kind of put it on there like a donut and then smash it all down at once. Oh, no, I didn't see the ones that you could actually print on the CDs.
Yeah, those were neat. Laser something. I don't remember what they were called.
Steve said, I had trouble finding the blank CDs last time I went to Best Buy. That and Polaroid film and disposable cameras, there's like a little area now, and they're like full price. It's not like, psh, these are cheap now. I used to have that same problem in the late 90s when I was still looking for 3.5 floppies. It was really hard to find floppies for a while. Yeah.
Remember zip drives?
And zip drives. Oh my gosh, the iOmega zip drives. Yes.
Yep.
Oh man, talk about locking and loading and waiting 10 minutes
Right.
for it to load up. Holy cow. But yeah, I still have a bunch of them.
LightScribe. Jim's got it. They were LightScribe discs.
Yes. Wouldn't that be the one where it would write to the bottom and it would also make designs outside the area of where the CD was done? Like it would write like the pictures on it. But you're right, it would have LightScribe technology in it.
Yep.
Did you have the two ones? Because so at home, I got a 4x CD burner, which meant it burned a CD, an 800 megabyte CD in 47 minutes.
Right.
But you would have to put in the original disc, it would read it, and then you'd have to put in a blank disc, and then it would write to it. Blah, 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 blah. Or you'd get the dual readers where you could put one in the one and one in the other. And oh my gosh, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of discs from like PlayStation and Xbox and stuff of patching and burning. But yeah, it would take all day.
Uh-huh.
That's right. And that wasn't even that long ago, kids.
Yeah.
That wasn't even that long ago. You flipped it over and it would burn the top. That is right. I forgot LightScribe. That is exactly what it was.
Yep.
PJ says, I still have the last thing of 100 blank discs I bought. There's like 13 left. I have mine, and I think it's almost all the way full. Like I said, Crystal's got a burner, but I don't know what the heck she's going to burn. Everything we own's on digital form. 800 megs is nothing these days.
No, I have everything on. I have the Drobo external drive, and then I have a couple other external hard drives, and that's really all. When I first started getting the external drives, I actually took everything we had on CD and put it on an external drive. I still have the CDs as well, but I also backed it up to the external drive.
Yeah, wow, that was the day. And that wasn't even that long ago.
Nope.
That was the last piece of media that took off, right? Before the MP3s, before it went digital. Blu-rays didn't take off. Blu-rays.
No.
There was Blu-rays, and I think there was UMDs, and those battled it out, kind of like VHS and Beta.
Yeah.
They had a big battle, and then Blu-ray won that, and everything was going to be rad in Blu-ray, but CDs were this much a time. Like, there was 8 tracks, there was albums, and 8 tracks, and cassettes, and VHSs, and then DVDs, and then Blu-ray, and then digital. Like, there wasn't enough Blu-ray for it to catch on before it just went all digital, and Blu-ray just kind of got left in the dust. I still, to this day, I do not own a Blu-ray.
The Xbox One plays Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. I have an Xbox One. It's right there.
Oh, yeah. They play Blu-ray.
I don't have a Blu-ray. Maybe like a game, but like I did not go and buy The Matrix on Blu-ray or anything like that.
I don't know if anything I have. If anything I have is Blu-ray, it's because it was a combo Blu-ray DVD and it was just cheaper to buy it that way. Remember when they used to do that?
Yes.
You could get it combo Blu-ray and DVD. It's like, well, what sense does this make?
Yes, and now it's digital too. Steve said, way back in the day, I had a mini disc player. That was actually really cool. The mini discs were awesome because they were in that little plastic cartridge, and you could pull it to the side. It was like a hybrid of like a record plus a hard drive. The problem is if you got a spec in there, you're done. You're done.
I remember the very first.
Expensive.
We had I still have it. I don't have it in this room. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but I have the very first anti-skip CD player that we used to have that we would put in the truck, and you'd plug the little cassette tape thing into the side of it and put the cassette tape in the truck, and then you'd set the CD player on and you would try to play your CDs.
Oh yeah.
I still have that CD player, and I still have our first MP3 CD player that read MP3s off of a CD.
Which is cool, because then when that happened, you were able to cram so much music on there, even if it sounded like crap. My car would do that stupid thing where I'd put that cassette in it, and every now and then it would flip to the other side and flip back. I'm like, could you stop it? With no CD protection. Yeah, but Steve, though, that mini disc player, those were expensive. When I worked at NASA, one of the leads came in there, and he had this little mini disc player that he couldn't move. And that thing was like $500 or $600. It was so expensive, and it just never caught on.
Yeah.
It just never caught on.
Jamie had the LG Rhythm phone. I had one for a while, too.
Oh, my gosh. I remember that.
Yeah, it was one of the first phones that came with the FM transmitter. So you could load your MP3s onto your phone, and then you could FM transmit them to your radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it would hold like 12 songs. It would hold 12 songs, and it tried to make it look all cool and sporty and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun to see them trying to figure it out. Remember the Walkman?
Yeah.
I had an original Walkman. I had a Sony Walkman.
Yep.
I had a Sony Walkman, and then I had the case for it, which would change color in the light. Oh yeah. What was I playing on my cassettes? I was playing MC Hammer. I was playing Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em. I was playing Vanilla Ice. I had Vanilla Ice. I liked Vanilla Ice for some reason, so I had that cassette. I had a Faith No More cassette. I had Master Puppets. I had Metallica Black. I had Ozzy.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
It's it. I had Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 on cassette because I was really into. I liked Guns N' Roses.
Right.
Jordan says, with the super chat, anyone miss going to Blockbuster? I have 2 Blockbuster cassettes, and I called Crystal before the podcast because I couldn't find them down there because things are a mess. I have 2 of them. I have 2 actual, I didn't return them back to Blockbuster, so I do have a stack of Blockbusters. And they're bad, too. One of them's Boys Don't Cry, and one of them's like Crow 3. And I was like, the Crow 3 was bad. Did you ever watch The Crow?
Yeah.
But not The Crow 3, right?
No.
With Kirsten Dunst?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so no. I have them somewhere here, and I was trying to look for it because I wanted to actually talk about it when I brought up GameStop closing. I wanted to talk about the Blockbuster, how I still had the Blockbuster video cassettes, and I don't know where they're at. They must be in the back room somewhere, but I do have them.
They didn't send the police to your house to come get those?
No, the warehouse did, though. So I was dating this girl, and I met her at the fair. And I wasn't really, when I said dating her, this all went on for like 2 weeks. So she came over and went to the warehouse. You could rent videos at the warehouse. Where? The warehouse. Remember that? Like, the warehouse was a place where you could go. Did you guys have a warehouse?
No.
Oh, it was awesome. It was huge. So it was this big record store, movies and music. It was like a Sam Goody's. You did Sam Goody?
Yep.
Just like that, right? And And you'd go in there, and they had this listening station towards the end, and you could take any CD you'd want. They would unwrap it, and they'd let you listen to it at like these stations. And if you liked it, fine. If not, I guess they put it back in the machine and put it on the shelf. And then they also rented movies. And she came and she rented some movies. She came to my house. We watched the movies. What were they? Man, they were bad movies. They were like some scary movies or something like that. And then I don't remember what falling out we had. And then like we didn't talk no more. And I remember walking into my room one night. Oh, man, why am I telling this? And I had a television before televisions were flat, so they were sitting on top of the television. And I just walked and I, like, punched them. Punching them sounds aggressive. I, like, shoved them off behind my TV or whatever. I don't know. And then, like, a month went by. And she calls me. And, I had a phone in my room with my own phone line. That's what I asked for my 16th birthday, a telephone line.
Oh, remember those?
I ran the line myself. And begged for it to hook up. So I had my own phone line. So when I wasn't on dial-up, she called. She's like, look, man, I just want you to return those movies. I had forgotten all about it. It's been to the point where they're willing to waive the late fees. They just want their movies back. I'm like, okay. So I dug behind my TV, and I grabbed the movies. And I went and took them back there, and they didn't charge me. One time I owed $43 and something cents to Blockbuster Video, and they sent me a letter in the mail saying that if I paid that off, they'd give me that much in rental credit. So I walked in there like the McMillions guy, and I paid it off, and sure enough, they gave me another $40 in rentals, and guess what? I don't think I returned those either.
Those are the ones you have.
It was hard. You had to return them by 10 in the morning, people. It was a 3-day rental. It was $325 for 3 days.
Yep.
After you rented them, you please be kind, please rewind. Did you rewind yours?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Did you have an extra rewinder?
No.
Yeah, I rewinded mine. I would rewind them. It'd suck. I remember renting movies, and it'd just be like at the credits all the time. You're like, no, 7 more minutes until it's done. You take it back to Blockbuster. You'd pull in at 9:55 with everybody else. You'd shove them through the mail slot where on the other side there was like a playpen where they would all be sitting there. None of them were wiped down. That place wouldn't be open today. Everything was touched before. Oh man, you would have to be a shark. Do you remember being a shark back in the day, trying to get that movie you wanted?
Yes. We didn't have a Blockbuster. We had Curvan's Video, and then more local? Which was just like same thing, but it was just like locally owned. And then Family Video showed up here, which we still have a Family Video. And then Blockbuster came, and everybody was all excited. And our Blockbuster didn't last because they ended up closing down. But we had, when we all lived together at the Lockwood house, Greg rented, was it? I don't remember what game it was. I want to say it was for the Nintendo 64, and I want to say it was James Bond, maybe.
Yeah, maybe some 007. I'm sure you guys own that.
Something that we played repeatedly, and Greg had rented it, and he just... Was it Perfect Dark? It was Perfect Dark.
Oh my gosh, okay, I totally remember Perfect Dark, right.
Yeah, so we had rented it, and it just didn't get returned. And I guess they called and said, return it, or sent us letters or whatever. But
this was in the 90s.
Days, it was like
99
2 weeks. Do you remember how long it was? Like 2 weeks or a month? It was a long time. It was like 2 weeks or a month or something. And we got a knock on the front door, and it was the police. And they told us we had to return the game.
He's got the bat in his hand.
Greg was playing the game, so he's like, oh yeah, we have that. And he reached up and shut off the Nintendo and pulled out the game and gave it to the police.
Oh no, that is crazy. Yeah, No, over Perfect Dark, just charge your account.
The police showed up at our house to get the game back.
Oh my gosh, I would rent Nintendo, because renting was really popular in the early 80s. I would go to Albertsons or Stater Brothers, and there would be a video area inside the supermarket. Yeah, I'd go in there and I'd rent my game, and I'd go and play it, and I'd take it back and be like, oh, it doesn't work. They're like, does it not work, or did you just not like it? Oh, I don't know, sir. Bayou Billy sucked. Battletoads is too hard. E.T.'s lame. Yeah, so I would rent the heck. I remember, because Blockbuster Video was open 365 days. So one day in 1993, I got a Sega Genesis, and it came with, boring Sonic the Hedgehog, and I got hockey. I played hockey every year. Even now, I still have like every year of hockey. And I asked my parents, can we go rent videos? And on Christmas Day, I went over to Blockbuster Video, and those poor people were working, and I rented like all kinds of games. It was awesome. It was awesome to rent the games there. It was a little harder when it turned into CDs, because people would scratch them up.
Right.
But back when it was just cartridges, though, it was great. It was great. So many video game stuff was so misleading back then. There was no reviews. There was no way to check anything. I had Nintendo Power since issue 1, but it's still fluff. You had no way to know if this game was good or not, and you would just felt so ripped off, you know?
Yep.
But man,
Yep.
I remember that. Okay, so you'd run in there on Friday night. If you're going in there on Friday night, you're screwed. You'd run in there, you'd run to the back, you'd look for the movies. Oh my gosh, H2O's not there. Then you'd run over by the front counter, and you'd see what was checked back in but not filed back yet. And when you found that movie you wanted, and oh man, it was like when Link would grab the piece of Triforce and it would be like, it was like that. You're like, yes! And you'd be so stoked, and you'd hold on to that thing like you're precious.
Right. Yep.
Oh man, that's right. Looking at cases, that's when like cases sell. Same with video games back in the day. Like the cases sold everything. There was
thumbnails and titles.
Thumbnails and titles. Yeah, that's the original thumbnails and titles. There's been you were, if you knew what you were getting into, fine. You saw the movie in the theaters, and you'd wait a year. I always say, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I loved it when I was a kid in the early 90s. I watched it, and over a year later, it finally came out on video. And I went in there the first day, and I rented it. And it's like I almost picked Beta because Betamax was around. You'd pick it up, and you'd rent it, and I knew what I was doing. But some of these ones that you would have to go into and pick on your own when you're just like, oh, let's see what's over here. They were mostly crummy. It was mostly crummy.
Yeah, we rented some crazy games that definitely, we were glad we didn't buy. Steve said I must have rented Diddy Kong Racing 15 times. I love that game still to this day. I love that game.
Yeah.
Such a good game.
I love my 64.
I played a lot of that, but I played a lot of Donkey Kong Country as well. I have Donkey Kong Country for the Switch, but nobody ever plays it with me.
I didn't get into the Donkey Kong. I got into like Donkey Kong, but I did not.
Right.
I did not, for some reason, find the charm in him with his tie and his like him and Diddy Kong were running around. I didn't. I get it, but I didn't.
The minecart track levels were always my favorite. Always.
See, I didn't play. I can see the side-scrolling game, but was the engine more like Mario Kart?
Yeah. For Diddy Kong Racing, yeah.
Same with Sonic. Sonic has Sonic All-Star Racing or whatever, and it's pretty much the same engine, a little clunkier.
Yeah.
People like it. People really like the Diddy Kong Racing. Stephanie said Diddy Kong Racing was the best.
That'd be so cool. They should come. We should start a petition. They should bring that back for the Switch.
Is that not coming back to the Switch? I saw that Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine were going to be a package deal on the Switch. Those were both good games.
Really?
Yeah, both good games. Crystal got to the end of Mario Odyssey, and it turned into Mario 64. So she beat Super Mario Odyssey. Oh, it's hard to beat. But like she got to the end of it, and then all of a sudden she's at the castle. You know the castle? So she's running outside, and I hear, woo, woo, woohoo! I'm like, whoa, hey, what are you doing? Like, I hear Mario 64, and she goes in, and then she's jumping in all the pictures, and it's taking her to other levels for stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, like Mario 64. She's like, who in the what? There's the rabbit. You remember chasing the rabbit around? You have to try to catch that rabbit? Oh yes. Sonic Racing is on PC. We just want more levels for our Mario Kart. So I would play the racing game.
Yeah, I would too.
Yes. PJ with the super chat. Does anybody remember when the CDs were sold in those plastic holders that they would take off at the register?
Had to have the special key that you had to put in and pop the thing open so you could take the CD out.
Yeah, they're a commodity. We try to order them online, trying to get good packs. I always was a fan of verbatim, even though I couldn't always afford verbatims. I loved the verbatims. They were really good. Making me feel like I would get a Switch. Let me tell you, for someone that still right now owns all the consoles since Nintendo. I have every one of my consoles. I have not been more impressed with a Nintendo console in ages than I am with the Switch. The Switch has not done it has not done me dirty one time. I did not like the Wii U. The Wii itself was okay. I love the GameCube. The GameCube was so charming. I love the GameCube, and I love the Nintendo 64. But it's been a little while since Nintendo's done something right.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, that they did it right with the Switch. You will not be disappointed with the Switch.
I really liked the 64. That was probably before the Switch. That was probably my favorite.
But that was our first 3D game. That was the first time you were able to circle, and you know how hard it was to jump on a 45-degree angle, and like you're trying to figure out, and it was all these thumb movements that never existed before it was X, Y, and now it's all the axes, and Mario's in 3D, and now he's got a voice a little bit, he's like ooh wee, and it was so interesting. It was that and GoldenEye, which I saw a video of GoldenEye the other day. Oh my gosh, it visually doesn't hold up. Pilot Wings was good on it. They did so many good games. There was a Star Wars games on there where they got the lightsaber noise right, and that one was amazing. So I really loved the Nintendo 64. It doesn't hold up, and the controllers were weird, but oh my gosh, it was like the future. GameCube was my favorite. GameCube was great. Did you play a GameCube?
Yes. Yeah,
I love the GameCube. I have all of my Nintendo stuff. I keep it forever.
What are you doing? We're drinking all the water out of the bowl. Find all the ice cubes. I take ours out. Found all the. Do you want to come say hi again? Here.
This is my Game Boy. This is my Game Boy from my 8th, 9th birthday, from 1989. So 78, 88, 89. So I was 11 years old. This is my original Game Boy. I am
really.
People don't know. I am a Nintendo fanboy. Yeah, this is my original Game Boy. It came with Tetris.
That's the best game ever.
I still have all my stuff. So yeah, like I have all my, and you'd have so many contraptions for this. You'd have the magnifying glass and the light and stuff like that. It took 4 AA batteries, which didn't last long. Man, AA batteries are expensive. So I love the Switch. So if you're gonna get a console, I like it better than my Xbox. I like it better than any of the other stuff. Definitely like it way better.
Becky, it's never gonna get to below $50.
The Switch will never be less. No. It's
totally worth. Even the Switch Lite, it's totally worth the $200. Especially if you get the Nintendo Online. There's so many games you can get that are free.
Every Nintendo game, not every. 40 Nintendo games, 25 Super Nintendo games, they're all on there, and it's $20 a year for it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Tetris 99's on there, which that was actually kind of fun. Right now is the best time to get the Switch because it's almost 2 years into it, and all the good games are coming out. All the stuff, all the stuff's been coming out for it, so it's good. The Pokemon game's legit. I mean, obviously everybody loves Animal Crossing. Oh.
Hi.
Why are her ears back like that? Is that because she just wants love?
She's happy.
Does that mean happy?
Yeah, she's happy. She's like, yeah, to please pet me because look how good I am. I'm so cute. Can you please pet me? Yes.
Sarah says, I saw my purple Game Boy Color. That works as well. That works as well. Oh. You can't get Memphis up here?
She's laying right there. She's looking at me like, why are you petting that puppy? Because you're over there. You could come over here and I could pet you. And that's too much work.
Crystal says, what's the difference between the two Switches? Can you play them online in Switch Lite? I'll give you a rundown. We like you. I'll give you a rundown. So the regular Switch is a little bit bigger. It has less battery life than the Switch Lite. You can't do any of the Joy-Con stuff with it. So you can't play any of the games that require the Joy-Cons to do anything like that. So you can't play like the shooting fast game or anything like that, or any of those like games, which honestly I don't use the Joy-Cons for much at all.
You can't take these off.
You can't take those off. So any of the games that require that to shake and move and stuff like that, like in the Mario game you shake, you can't play, which is fine. You're not going to play any of those anyway. It's a little bit smaller. It does not hook up to the docking station for the television, so you only play it as a handheld, but it has a longer battery. It has a longer battery life. Otherwise, I don't think there was anything different. I think the screen's a little bit smaller, but it comes in rad colors, and if you don't care about hooking it up to the big screen, that's fine. You can still cock it out, and if you have the external controllers, like the Pro controllers, like I have some Pro controllers, it'll still work with it. But you just can't do anything that requires motion and movement, which is overrated and only on very few games anyway.
Right.
So it's $100 difference if you want it to hook to the television and do stuff like that. I love my Switch. I wish my battery life was better on it, but I pretty much keep it docked or plugged in.
Yeah, the battery life on it is not that great.
Yeah. But... yeah. I'd rather not get the Lite. It's basically a Nintendo 3DS. I disagree in the fact that it plays all the Switch stuff. But it is more formed to your hand like a handheld. Yes.
Yeah, yes. I don't think it's basically a Nintendo 3DS. It's quite different.
But I'll tell you what, that even the regular Switch, I still throw that in my purse and I could take it anywhere. I do. I took it on the airplane with me.
Did you? Yeah.
That's right, because we played a little bit of it at Vidcon.
Yep.
Yeah, so it is great. It's got the horsepower. There's lots of good games on there. You can play some Skyrim, like Skyrim Grandma.
Skyrim Grandma.
I messaged her. I haven't gotten anything back yet, but I try to want to get an interview with her on the podcast. Imagine me talking to her. That'd be fun.
No. I like your stuff.
Can you play online with people? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What it does doesn't change. Just the functionality of like the Joy-Con stuff does.
Right.
I have a 2DS. I have a 2DS as well. I love my 2DS. I have a 2DS. I have a DS. My 2DS is right over there. I have a regular clamshell DS, and then I have the GameCube, and so I have I almost have every Nintendo product. The only product that I didn't buy is I did not get a Super Nintendo because I chose Sega Genesis because I wanted to play hockey, and I did not get a Wii U. I did not get a Wii U.
That's what Eric had. Eric had the Wii U.
He had the Wii U, which is a Wii with that like a Switch in your hand, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
But it had to locally transmit the stuff from one to the other, whereas now you can just pick it up and go in your handheld. So it was almost there.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some patents from back in the day where the Wii controller was actually a Super Nintendo 64 controller. Oh no, GameCube. They were trying to do it for GameCube, and it just wasn't there.
Right.
The oldest thing I have is a Game Boy Advance SP. I have a Game Boy Advance SP. I have a red or a gray one that's sitting over there in a side satchel with Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. And man, I bet those Pokemon games are probably worth stuff. With the little pedometer. It used to come with a pedometer.
Oh, probably.
With your Tomodachi. Oh man, we've gone on a crazy Nintendo topic here. I have my Super Nintendo. Keep it. I love it. There's nothing more satisfying than the noise of Super Mario World when it's like, oh, I love that. I have the DS and 3DS. Those are good ones to have.
Yeah, see, I didn't have any of the handheld Nintendo games at all.
Jim Johnson had a good question. Did you have a Power Glove, Dan? Like Fred Savage movie. Oh, yes, the Power Glove. It's so bad. That movie was The Wizard, and it's one of my favorite movies, actually. I love The Wizard, where they try to go to LA for the video game championships. Lucas is actually the one that had the Power Glove. So to answer your question, I did not own a Power Glove, but for a year when I was in 6th grade, my brother and his family moved into the house that we were in because we had a huge house because they wanted to move to our town and they got a house or whatever. So they had the Power Glove, and that thing was unworkable. It's 2 IR dots that you had to do, and it doesn't work. There's a documentary, a good documentary, it's about 20 minutes long, on YouTube about the Power Glove, but it just didn't work. The 2 IR things with the IR things, it didn't work. It sucked. We would try to play games with it, and we could never get it to work. And I was 11 years old at that time, in like 6th grade, 10, 11, and I was already decent at computers. Like I had my own computer by then, and I was picking parts out, and I could not get the Power Glove to work. The best thing that we could do is we could use it as a regular controller, but any of the actual Power Glove stuff did not work. In the movie, they were playing Rad Racer, and he was like, "Ooh, the Power Glove, it's so bad." No, it didn't work. It didn't work. That was such a good movie. The Wizard was good. It was with like Beau Bridges and Christian Slater and Fred Savage and Jenny Lewis. Of Rilo Kiley. I like it because like that's like one of my favorite bands. Okay. Anyway, did you have the NES Max or the Advantage controller? I had the NES Advantage controller. It was this big controller with the big buttons on it, and it had a joystick on it, and it also had the thing where you could make it like rapid fire or slow motion. So yes, I did have that. I also had the power pad. I don't remember if I had the NES Max. The NES Max I think was the NES hand controller. Oh man, I had a lot of Nintendo stuff, Jess. I don't know if you knew this about me. I did.
I say, you like that almost as much as you like Apple products.
Yeah, taste the rainbow. How are we friends? Like, how are we like super good friends? Like, yes. Send me the link to the doc, Dan, if you remember. It comes up on my recommended all the time because I'm always watching nerdy stuff. I watched this guy try to go around. There's this really cool Nintendo documentary of a guy that tried to go around and collect every Nintendo game. Some of the Nintendo games are harder than others. Son of Samsonite was like they only made like 50 of them, and Track and Field they only did Track and Field 2. They did like 50 copies of it in another country, and he tried to go around and collect all the Nintendo games, and it was a really cool documentary of him watching him do that. I just downloaded Tetris 99. That's fun. You played that, Jess, yeah?
What?
Tetris 99?
Tetris 99? Yeah. Did you used to watch Angry Video Game Nerd?
No, who's that?
On YouTube. I think that was his channel was Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't know if his channel is still up, but he used to review like a lot of those old games, and the set behind him was all old Nintendo stuff.
Okay, yes, I see it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, I actually have seen some of his stuff. Yes, his stuff's he's still going. He just posted a video on March 11th.
Is he? Yeah. He used to way back in old school YouTube days. A lot of people either loved him or hated him.
Oh yeah, he's old. Yeah, he's the old one. Oh yes, no, I know that face. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I never video game nerd.
All the content that I did before Twitch came out, I never thought to like show off like video game stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Wait. I mean, Nintendo's basically the Apple of the gaming world. No, what?
I mean, it is.
Nintendo's a beautiful product. Do you have beefs with Nintendo?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I like Nintendo.
Okay. Oh, they were good. They were always solid.
Now, when you put Sony next to Xbox,
I'm a Sony fan, and my biggest regret.
I figured you would be.
I'm a Sony fan, and my biggest regret is the PlayStation 2 was a perfect system. I loved it, but I didn't get a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 4, which I regret. I got an Xbox 360, and an Xbox One, because once you pick an ecosystem and you make friends on there, you're stuck. But I regret not getting a Sony PlayStation 4 over an Xbox One, just because of the imports.
I knew you'd be a Sony fanboy.
Not Sony for you? They make crappy TVs. They used to make awesome Walkmans. They make a crappy TV.
They used to make amazing cameras, but not so much anymore.
Oh man, remember those proprietary purple? I still have my purple on memory card stick. They did that to the PlayStation 3 too. I think that's what made me mad at the PlayStation 3s.
Yep.
You had to have like the purple memory stick. Same memory on the inside, but it wouldn't fit into the slot on the outside.
That's the same reason. That's why I don't like Sony. Same reason I don't like Apple, because they go, hey, look, we're gonna make everything, so you have to buy it from us. We could make it compatible, but we really like your money. Oh, and we're gonna charge you 3 times the amount as well.
Apple was so bad at that. When I worked at NASA, it was like 80-20 PCs over Macs. And you would get like a head person or an engineer that would get their new Mac computers. And that's back when we were selling the G3s or like the iMacs, the ones with the colored backs that were all one thing.
Yep.
And they had that little hockey puck. And they would want RAM upgrades. And it would be hundreds and hundreds of dollars more than anything else. And it was like open heart surgery trying to get proprietary tools to get in there. And then there would be like, you know how like when you if you take apart your computer or you disassemble your DVD player, on the inside of the plastic there's like metal sheeting in there that's really thin. They would like coat it in sheeting, so when you would have to peel it out to get to it, and you could just never get it back together right.
Yep.
And oh man, it was so bad. But that's what happens when a company owns hardware and software. That's what happens. Where Bill Gates decided he just wanted to license his software to whatever hardware you have on, which works in theory. Where it doesn't work is when you have something like an Android phone. I believe like I could get an Android phone from 5 years ago, and Jess could have hers now, and we can run the same iOS, and we're gonna have 2 totally different experiences.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where Apple has it's like a Magic the Gathering. Only the last 3 generations work, and then when it falls off, it's done and gone.
They're like, oh, you still have that phone? Well, we're going to make it really slow, and we're going to make it not work anymore so that we can sucker you into spending another $1,200 on a phone.
That is debatable. You know, and even...
No, it's not. That actually happened.
Even these little guys here. My iPod Nano, brand new. The battery didn't charge on it. I sold it to somebody on eBay for $200, but they couldn't get it to charge, so they sent it back to me. But look, it's a beautiful machined piece of art here. I could almost swallow it.
Almost.
You ever watch That's Incredible? You remember that show from like the 70s? There was a guy that like cut up a bicycle like into metal bits, and he ate the whole bicycle.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? But I love this thing. This thing is just, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of machinery. Steve, you should appreciate that. You machine stuff. You should. You should. This is a fun podcast. This is the crazy cast.
Right.
This is pretty much how it is, though. Like we say every time when we talk, it's pretty much like this.
Right.
I have never bought an aftermarket ad from Apple from Apple. There's plenty of cheap aftermarket stuff. There is. You know, they didn't invent the MP3 player. They just made it look visually beautiful and charged triple for it. I still have it. I have that. I have my iPod Nano. I have a regular iPod. Crystal has an iPod. But now with the phones,
Right, you don't need it.
it's all in one now. But I still have like a 32 gig, big, clunky, thick iPod. What did you do then, Jess? If you weren't an Apple person, what did you do for that bridge before our phones could do this for MP3 players?
I had a MP3 CD player.
Okay, so it was always that. It was never anything digital?
Nope, not until they started doing that on the phone.
They would put IDE hard drives into it, and you would plug this big thing like your stereo, punk. And then when you were done, you'd have to pull it out, and you'd take it inside, and you'd hook it up, and you'd try to put music on it. You remember removable faceplates on CD players? What was
Yes.
that? What was that BS? What was that? What was that? You'd hit the button and it'd come off, and you'd take your play. I'd put it in my pocket. It's hanging out of my back pocket when I'd go into the Blockbuster Video to buy some sort of crummy CD. Why my friend bought Linkin Park albums. Oh my gosh, what a stinker! And then you'd come in, and you'd click it in there, and you'd put your lid back on it. Those are the worst. There was a really big gap of like BS between like the middle 90s to like the early 2000s, maybe 2004 or 5 of like things just, there was 50 different devices to do like everything that this does right now. There was no such thing as apps. Everything was bootlegable, but nothing was good. Nothing worked
good. The way it was supposed to.
There is a National iPod Day. There's a National Every Day. Today was like National Creme Brulee Day. It was National Social Gathering Day. It was National
No, it was not.
Commemorate the Oklahoma City Bombing Day. And it was National, there was one other National Day today. I was just looking at it a little bit ago. So it doesn't surprise me.
Isn't it?
Was that?
I said it is April 19th. Huh?
Yeah, look it up real quick. And you know what? There's so many of those days. Tomorrow's 420, and it wasn't National like Cheech and Chong Day or anything. Can I make hearts with this?
Can you what?
Can I make hearts with this? Oh my gosh, I'm almost like Ace Ventura when he went all crazy and he was in his tutu and he was in the crazy asylum. Let me do this button hook pie blast in slow motion. Remember, he's like, yeah. That's exactly what it looks like with my hair like that. Yeah, look at what day it is. Are you looking to see what days it was? Was I right? It was like...
It's National Amaretto Day.
What is that? That's is that like a coffee?
Isn't that the drink? Isn't that liquor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's right. Okay. Maybe I probably heard that
Amaretto.
name from Miller.
We should have had Amaretto. National Amaretto Day, National Garlic Day,
Okay.
National Hanging Out Day, National North Dakota Day.
Okay.
Where's Katie? National Oklahoma City Bombing Commemoration Day.
Yeah, see, I was right on that. And then there was more.
That's all that's listed here. Tomorrow is National Cheddar Fries Day, National Lima Bean Respect Day, National Lookalike Day, and
What?
National Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day.
Yes, I remember seeing that too. I was like, yes, pineapples. Can we go back to what are we respecting? Lima beans?
Lima beans.
Aren't those edamame? Why do we need that? What happened to the lima bean that it got disrespected?
I don't know. National Lima Bean Respect Day. Gives the humble lima bean its due. When cooked, fresh lima beans have a creamy texture. However, dried lima beans, once cooked, serve up as a bad reputation due to their graininess.
Oh my gosh. You know what? That makes me think that we need a National Snow Dogs Day.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
wow.
probably is one.
Look, if Lima Bean has a day and you don't, that's kind of sad. I mean, does Lima Beans have a better social media than you do? Like, what's going on?
I mean, I don't know. What week is it? What week is this? It's the 19th?
It's the 19th of month 4 in 2020.
It's... oh my gosh. It's Coin Week. It's Neurodiagnostic Week.
Okay.
Neurodiagnostic. And it's National Liberty Week.
Okay.
National Volunteer Week.
All these stuff seems better than the Lima Bean Respect Day, or Don't Bully the Lima Bean, or whatever they're trying to push.
Right. And National Crime Victims' Rights Week.
Even that is still better than National, like, Respect the Bean.
Respect the bean.
Don't Flick the Bean Day. Yeah, I don't even know what that's about. That is crazy. Something happened. National Siberian Husky Day. That's what I'm thinking. When is that?
That poor lima bean.
Poor lima. Like, now I'm sad. Like, now I might never eat a lima bean again. Isn't it a lima bean though? Is that the edamame?
No, I don't know if there's a difference between the two, isn't there?
I'm not. Even though I am Mexican, I am not up to date on my beans. Like, right. I don't know. I know there's a pinto beans and refried beans and black beans, which are all good to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
is a soybean. Amanda, you are a genius. Yes, you're right. So yeah, when is there's got to be National
Here's
Husky
a whole bunch
Day.
more. Here's a whole bunch more. April is Active Dog Month compared to Inactive Dog Month.
Right.
Today is also Rice Ball Day.
Okay, I love rice balls.
Pottery and Creative Mind Day.
Still better than Lima Bean Respect Day.
There's like so many different websites you can go to for all these things, and then every website has like more.
It's so many things for the day. Like, I swear it's been National Pizza Day and Taco Day like 13 times already.
Right? The entire month of April is Summer Tire Changeover Month, Poetry Month, Couple Appreciation Month, Jazz Appreciation Month, Decorating Month, Straw Hat Month. Where's your straw hat?
But these are months. Like, wow, like they're greedy. It's not just the day.
Adopt a Ferret Month.
That's illegal out here. We can't have ferrets.
Yeah.
We can't have ferrets out here.
Yeah.
Can you have ferrets?
Yeah.
Oh no, we can't have ferrets out here. I think my cousin's had a ferret for a while in Vegas and stuff, and it was like, ooh, you're not allowed to have those. They smell like hamsters.
They do.
Yeah, those things are crazy. It just snakes around like a bad centipede game.
They're so fun though.
Are these all made up, LOL, or do people actually celebrate it? I am sure that tomorrow is National Lima Bean Respect Day.
Yeah.
I'm sure tomorrow, if we look around, there's going to be somebody who's like not going to work because of respecting the lima bean. So yes, I'm sure. National Sled Dog Day is on February 2nd, says Scott.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Yeah, I've never celebrated any of the days, only because there's too many of them. But I will say that like all the time I hear about these days.
There's definitely a lot of them, and I don't know where they all come from.
I like a dashi in my rice ball. What is a dashi? I've never heard of that word. Jess Appreciation Month. Whoa. Whoa. Don't give her a big head. Why can't you have a ferret? You know what? I don't know.
They're illegal in the state of California because they're an invasive species.
What does that mean? They're like hard to catch?
No, they're destructive. They kill other animals that are native to your area. And they destroy plants and things that are native to your area. And people were getting them and letting them go, and they were destructive.
Yeah, well, just like Family Guy said, The Simpsons did it. There was a Simpsons episode where they went to like Australia, and and Bart's like frog went over there, and it was going to destroy their whole ecosystem and stuff like that. It was something to that degree. So okay, I get it. Yeah. When I saw it, it looked like it wanted to eat my finger, and it just moved around the cage a bunch, and it smelled like a hamster. But otherwise, it was small.
They're really fun. I always wanted one, but they stink.
And Dan too. No, don't pity give me my own month. We can let Jess have her own month. We should just make up a day. How do we get this? It's like, you know how like back in the day you would get you could get a star named after you, or you could buy a plot of land on the moon.
Yep.
And it's like, well, what is that worth today? Like, can I do that? Can I still have that?
You can have days dedicated by your mayor, like in your town. So maybe you have to petition your mayor.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd buy a plot of the moon. Like, when we finally colonize it, does that hold up?
I don't know, maybe.
I will say one time, and I know you guys are going to laugh at this. When I was an adult, maybe even when I worked at NASA, I believe I came home and I tried to Google how to own a piece of the moon. Like, I wanted to buy a moon rock.
Right.
Like, I just like, oh, like, that's cool. Like, we went to the moon and, like, they have moon rock. Like, how much is it so I can own a piece of the moon? I need to see this for myself. I need to make sure that we went to the moon. I want a piece of the moon. Can't buy a piece of the moon.
No.
You can't buy a physical. No. There's some samples, and there was some documentary or something that was on not too long ago about, like, the Getty Museum, or is that the one in New York? There's one in New York.
I don't know which one's in New York. 4
or 5 museums with the same name. I think like Getty, and there's like one in New York. Oh, that's Mueller. There's one in New York, and inside there they protect the rocks that were brought back from the moon from the samples. Like they're like all in like hyperbaric chambers or whatever, or something like that.
Hyperbaric chambers.
And so you cannot, in fact, buy a chunk of the moon.
I have a lot of rocks.
You have those cool glowing rocks. Even when I was over there, we were messing with those glowing rocks.
Yep. I have a lot of rocks.
Expensive rocks. Yeah, it would be an expensive rocks.
Are you? What are you?
I want a hedgehog.
Her?
Hedgehogs sound fun. What'd you say?
Move the logo.
Oh my gosh! Here, I'll move this stuff out of the way.
What are you doing? You crazy?
I can make your camera wider. There we go.
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh! I can like go far.
Hi. How are you?
There we go.
We were just upside down?
It was probably the Smithsonian. Ferris or vicious? They'll eat your throat. Oh, I don't want that. Kamiko's always trying to steal my breath like Cat's Eye.
Really?
Oh, Kira's so cute.
Are you cute? Are you going to be upside down? What are we going to do?
Does she just want your attention?
Always. Always. Where's your ball?
A National Sock Day. Yes, there is a National Sock Day. Crystal reminds me of that every year. I want a glow rock one day. They're awesome. As long as you have a black light. You sent me one, and I'm like, I don't have nothing to light it with. But when we're not, so I do have one here. But when I was
them in there.
In Michigan, we had the lights on them. They're amazing.
You want me to go grab them?
Yeah, why not?
Are you going to talk to us? You going to have a conversation?
Adam Savage has a moon rock. NASA has NASA handed it to him. That would be rad. Don't Google pictures of the cast of that show though. You'll see some stuff you can't unsee. I would be down for a moon rock. All right, I gotta watch this. Anybody else thinks these animals in the background are creepy as heck? Cause I'm pretty creeped out. I'm pretty creeped out by that. I do not want taxidermist mooch. I do not. I had chinchillas before, says the Husky Bunch. I have not. I had guinea pigs. I had guinea pigs and then I killed them. I didn't kill them, but they died in the sun or something. I don't remember. I was like 5. I wonder if I can find those glow rocks on the shores of Lake Hurton, because that's on the other side, right? Maybe so. You might be able to. Maybe so. They're really cool. They're really cool though. Steve says, I wonder if they can find those rocks on the shores of Lake Hurton.
Huron?
Hurton sounds cooler. Yeah, Lake Huron. So is that the opposite of where you were at, like on the opposite side of the lake?
Lake Huron is the lake we're on.
No, the cuddle clones are pretty cute. I don't know, I'm pretty spooked. Here, let me get you. Let me make you bigger here so we can do this.
Ooh, it's squeaky.
Okay, I can't turn down the light anymore, but I'll get rid of the logo for a minute. There we go.
I don't know what the best way is to take one out.
I can appreciate that they're glowing, but I think the glass is blocking it.
Right. So if I do it like this.
And it looks just like that.
Yeah. I wonder if this light works better for what we're doing. I have the small light as well. See, this light's going to make everything look really purple, though, so you won't be able to really see it.
The lights, there's too much light.
Yeah.
But they don't charge up and glow afterwards, right? You always have to have that light on there?
Well, I have one downstairs that charges up and glows. There you go.
That looks cool. You had it.
Right there?
That looks really cool, yes.
Yeah. Let's see it. I got a whole bunch of them in this jar, but y'all can't see them. I wonder if I turn the jar that way. There, now you can see them in the jar. Yeah. Because that doesn't work because it reflects off the jar. Yeah, those are ember lights. It's so dark in here now.
I was trying to look to see if I had mine that you sent me, but I don't. The house is a mess.
You're like, I don't know where anything
is. Yesterday I was trying to find sugar and they couldn't.
Right.
Yes, that's really cool though, and that's something I had never seen before.
Glowing rocks. Wow, it's really bright. Wow, I could probably turn that down and leave the other light off. Is that too bright?
You're fine.
Are you sure? It's really bright.
No one's looking at you anyway. They're all looking at my suave anime hair, which now I'm gonna have to go wash this out. I'm gonna leave this in. Let's see what Crystal has to say about it. I'm gonna leave it in. Bad Drivers Las Vegas said, so cool. Oh my gosh, my sister's an Uber driver in Vegas. Maybe that's you. Is that you, Kim?
So they just look like regular rocks in the light.
Yeah.
They don't look like anything.
So when you find them, you have to go hunt for them like that. And you have to go around and you have to go hunt for them. Okay.
Yep. That's what we use.
Jim Johnson says, I like them better when they were called Uber Lights.
Oh, not me. I don't like the guy that trademarked that name and then sued a bunch of people and then came after a bunch of people. And
sounds like something Gene Simmons would do.
Yeah, I had a good friend of mine that lives up in the Upper Peninsula, and he was selling rocks he found on eBay, and the guy reported every single one of his listings on eBay, and then had some of his YouTube videos taken down because he put Uber Lights in the title. And so they're Ember Lights.
Uncle Yukon says, I sent a picture of my Yukon and his name to NASA to be launched into Mars in May. Are we too late for that? I want my name to be launched into Mars. Somebody say my name in space.
Somebody say my name in space. I look 10 times brighter than you.
That'd be so awesome. Dan, you should braid your hair like the guy on Lego Masters. He had like a mohawk and it was like just braided down the back of it. He's too fabulous for me though. He was way too fabulous for me. But yeah, he had like a mohawk going down the side, but it was going down the back. But his was way radder than mine. I gotta keep mine going until we're done here. Otherwise, it just looks like slop.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, Sarah, I don't have long enough hair to do that. That's why this hair couldn't reach to the top because it's not all long, you know.
Right.
Yes, those rocks are so awesome. Those rocks are awesome. You have all kinds of cool stuff there as far as like that, like for like those rocks, or you have little glow bugs.
Yep, we have lightning bugs.
Is that what you guys call them, lightning bugs?
Yeah, fireflies or lightning bugs. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love. And I forgot what you said. When I smush them, do I get like all the stuff over me and it's lit up?
Yeah, you'd kill them, but yeah.
Oh, I don't want to do that. I let all my bugs outside.
Instead, just break open a glow stick.
I had that before. We were going to a rave, and I was in the back of our friend's car, and it was like Crystal and Anda, and I was back there, and I honestly hadn't had much time spent with glow sticks other than like Halloween. Sometimes you'd bust one and stuff, and I don't know what I was doing, and it went boom, and it blew up all over my shirt. It got in my eyes, like my eyes were glowing. It blew up. It was like a shot. It just blew up all over me, all on the ceiling, and it was nighttime because, you know, the raves don't start until the middle of the night. Right. And we were in the back and stuff, and I was just looking all over, and I'm like, oh my gosh, but I glue forever. Forever, and then it stained my stuff. It was like dinge, but for the rest of that night, it was in my eyes, it was all over my face. It was the glow shot, money shot. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad. So those things do break, and yes, I have broken one of those in my face.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, you're better off to do that though than to kill the lightning bug to get a little bit of glow stuff on you.
Steve said people catch a lot of them in the jar to use them as night lights when camping. Do they make that much looms?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you just poke the holes in the top of the jar.
Wow, that's so crazy. Chase said I miss having fireflies when I lived in PA. I don't remember you talking about living in PA. You're worldly. You get sticky hands too when you squish lightning bugs. Oh yeah, I imagine that. Yeah, no, I do want to see him. That is a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
I was supposed to see him this summer.
Yeah. Hopefully.
There's no way. There's no way I'm out there by July. Not even July.
What did we say? What did we say? What did we say?
Stay positive, dream big. That's
what we said.
So we'll see. So there could be a chance. When do they start coming around? Do you see them at your house, or do you have to go camping?
We see them at the farm.
Okay, that's not too bad. Farm's like 20 minutes away. That's where we went to throw all those pumpkins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, it's too late to send your name to NASA. It was back in September or such time periods. Ugh. Yeah, it's hard, man. Space is really popular again. For a while, space wasn't popular. When I was working at NASA, they were like cutting space programs and stuff. And there was a poster, and it would have like all the ships on there. and I'd go to people's cubicles, and there'd be Sharpie markers colored out all the ships of the budgets that's been canceled for them, and one had like halfway filled in. So it wasn't as popular as it is now again, to the point where I try to look at JPL and some of the places I worked at to try to get a tour there to take Blake because he's into it, and there's well over a year wait. And then now there's no wait, there's no nothings. You know, because when the space shuttle, they would have tours, which would be great. Okay, so here's Dan. I'm just like I am now, 22 years old, spiky hair, no mohawk. You know, I come walking out of my office and stuff like that, and I see a group of kids on tour, because they'd give NASA tours. You know, and you'd walk by, and they're like, "Is that an astronaut?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, kids, look at me." And I'd like, "Look it." And I'd wave and stuff at them. And then after the space shuttle exploded, they stopped all the tours and all the everythings and stuff, because a lot of the news crews were trying to get in. Like I said before, like, you know, you'd try to pull in, and they're trying to interview you in the windows. I think I saw Connie Chun. I don't know. And then so then they stopped the tours for a while, and
because they want everybody in there.
Yeah, it was sad. So the tours are all back up again, but it'd be cool. They'd go on tour, and they'd go into lunchrooms and eat. You'd go over there and mess with them and stuff like that. Like, what are you guys eating for lunch, kids? Astronaut ice creams? They're like, "We love you, Uncle Dan." I'm like, "Don't call me that." Yeah, so I missed that. Jess, have you planted this year's pumpkins? Not unless I send you the seeds from my Lowe's.
I was going to say, do you not realize that it's April?
When do you guys plant for pumpkins?
Not April.
No.
It's going to be 39 degrees in 2 days.
Right. We do have seeds. Remember, I sent you the picture from Lowe's today. We do have seeds if you need some. I'll trade you. You're sending me toilet paper. I'll send you
seeds and
seeds. Paint. Yeah, right. I'll send you some lima beans.
Rumor has it the governor is supposed to start lightening our restrictions starting in May. So that probably means she's going to let people that have boats with motors go out in them.
Right. Motorboating. Only can be done in your house at the moment, not on the lake. Dan, what did you do at NASA? I was in computers. Like, the flex word is I was a computer engineer there, but I was mostly glorified IT. But I ran around that campus for like 4 years, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 NASAs. There's 2 in Cali. There's 1 in like Maine. There's Mission Control in Florida. Ours is flight test research, so they did all the telemetries and stuff like that. So they were always launching stuff and doing cool stuff. After 9/11, it was a little harder to break the sound barrier and do stuff, but I worked there. I did a lot of stuff like on the jets that would take the space shuttles from here to there. Like I did like computer stuff, just like pushing up my glasses, computer nerd stuff there.
Computer nerd stuff.
Well, they emailed me a boarding pass and all of that. Oh my gosh, what a big sell to get your name shot up into space. I have to find a way to get immortalized. Like, my friend Misty, she was a environmental artist at Sony Online Entertainment. And so, like, there was this ATV game that came out not too long ago, and she sat there and drew, like, 500 different plants, so the foliage looks different and stuff. In Last of Us, that game The Last of Us on PlayStation, her and her family are in one of the photographs that hang on the wall inside one of the abandoned houses. So you go in there and you look and you can see her and stuff like that. And I'm like, you're immortalized forever. That is something that I would love to be. I would love to be immortalized in some way other than to, like, YouTube.
Right.
Like, I need to be locked on a disc somewhere. I don't care if it steals my soul. I need it. Houston, yes, Houston has it. Yeah, Houston, we have a problem. So what would happen is a space shuttle would land at our NASA when the weather was bad in Florida. It would land here at Edwards. So we'd have to do all kinds of stuff. Our friend Johnny was responsible for hitting the button. We'd mark his, I've said this before, we'd paint his finger black. So when the space shuttle would land, when the back tires land, that's fine. But when the front tires hit, you have to play the national anthem. And he would walk around all day with his finger ready to go to play it. So it's a big to-do. And then it blew up all over the place. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Things are coming up for NASA in the next 5 years are going to be cool. Yes, now that they got their budget back, I can't wait. We're going to the moon. I'm so excited. That's one of the things I wanted to see before I died, was us to go to the moon, and we're going to go to the moon. And then I'm going to moon the moon when we go to the moon. They need to put an HD camera on the moon. I really hope they do that. Shouldn't NASA be merging with Space Force? What's Space Force? That sounds rad. SpaceX is cool. Blake's such a big SpaceX fanboy. He's got a SpaceX zipper hoodie. He's got a SpaceX t-shirt. It's like a $50 t-shirt that just says SpaceX there. He's got SpaceX backpack that he puts his laptops and stuff in. He is an Elon Musk fanboy. He's a
Where'd you get that from?
Not for me. I did not champion Elon Musk. I like him. That was him all on his own. He's a Cybertruck window defender. He's all into it. Edwards Air Force Base. That's where Edwards is right there. About it takes me about 30 minutes to get to the South Gate, and then about another 15 minutes inside Edwards is where NASA was. So it's right there. It's right there. Yeah, we're a farming community, but we're a community, an Air Force community.
Right.
All growing up, it was B-1 bombers, B-2 bombers, stealth ATFs, AWACSs, F-14s, F-15s, like F-37 Ganymans. All of them were just flying over like it's nothing. People come here, and then some people would get hired at the bike shop from out of town. They'd be like, "What is this?" And I'm just like, "It'll fly by in a minute." Like so.
We have a lot of that stuff here at the Air Force Base here because we can land the what is it, Phelps Collins, I think is what it's called. We can land the largest planes the military can fly. Okay, so you
just have to have that so they have a place to come dip down.
Yeah.
And that's where's that at?
It's right, where you took off from the airport?
Okay, by Traverse City?
you didn't go to the Alpena airport.
Yes, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we took Matt.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Matt went out from the Alpena airport.
It's really nice, it's nice.
So where we drive into the Alpena airport, if you keep going down that road, there's a big gate, and that's where everything is behind it.
Okay. There was a lot of empty room there.
That's why.
Okay.
That's why. It's because it's a big, but like they land like cargo carrying planes, and there's a lot of times where they'll do training here, and we're actually in like. It's really fun to go out to my mom and dad's house because they live right across the river from the airport. So we can sit out and look over the river and watch these planes just doing all their crazy stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. So we see them all the time. They used to have a air show over there, but they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, one of my jobs. So we also have Plant 42, which is out here. And when I worked at the screen print shop, they would launch and they would turn over the shop and go the other way. So half the time you'd be annoyed by these really fascinated pieces of technology of like, could you stop? I'm trying to be on the phone. Instead of going out there going like, wow, that's marvelous. So yeah, so you get to see cool stuff too. That Alpena airport was actually nice.
Yeah, they redid the whole our whole airport. The terminal has been all redone now as well.
Yeah, it's nice. Even when I went to Traverse City, that was a beautiful airport as well. It was so tiny.
Yeah.
There was nobody there. After you left, I went and got like a beer, and then like I talked to the lady that gave me the beer. Like she didn't have anything else to do, and it was so chill there. It was so chill.
So the difference is the airport in Traverse City has 5 terminals. The airport in Alpena has 1.
Yes, that's right. Yes, and it's a puddle jumper.
Yes, it's a puddle jumper.
Yes. Bad Drivers Las Vegas said, I lived in Northridge, and we'd hear them from test the space shuttle engines and the test facilities. Yeah, so you're in Northridge right there, and JPL in Pasadena is right above Northridge. So I go down to 14. You went there. You went down to the 14 to the 5 when you came to my house, or when you came here, and then you passed by like Northridge. That's where we had the big earthquake at. That's where I remember I was stuck in Burbank, like right by Northridge there. So and over there we have JPL, which is Jet Propulsion Lab. So yes.
Right.
Yeah, so we do get some cool stuff. I guess we do get some cool aerospace stuff here in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they built the Challenger, Challenger Way is the street right here that is right here, like a half a mile away, and that's where they toted the space shuttle down Challenger Way and then over to get to the Air Force Base. Rumor has it there's a tunnel that goes from here to the Air Force Base, but I didn't see that. One time I got in an elevator and went a lot of stories down underground, and we'll leave it at that. But like I didn't see anything else cool like that.
Right.
Traverse City is a beautiful town as well. They have amazing local chocolates there, because yes, I do know that. But a lot of people do. Did you get the SR-71? Is there when they were still around? So when I worked at NASA, there was the SR-71 was already done and gone, but the SR-71 flight simulator was there because it's 2 people in there. That looked beautiful. There's SR-71s parked a few miles from Patty's house in Palmdale. I remember one time in the group chat I was trying to send pictures. So you can go by there and see like a B-1 bomber and all that stuff, and an SR-71 was there. I have seen them, yes, with my eyes when I was a kid fly overhead before, those things were from like the 70s.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been to the airplane graveyard in Arizona.
That's right. We have a tiny one out here, but nothing like the one you have.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'd been there. That was kind of neat.
Is it free? You just go run around?
I barely remember it. I know they have like a museum thing there. I don't really remember it, but we were there.
Could you bring yourself to move back to like Arizona?
Nope. No way.
So I can't convince you to move here to Cali, right?
No.
What did you think of my
Nope.
town when you came to it?
It was flat.
Yeah, it was flat. You're like, just
it
go
was
to
a
the
lot
woods,
like
Dan,
Arizona.
and go there. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Everybody can see me. It's flat.
Yeah.
It is flat. I can see miles to the mountains on all directions. All directions.
Yeah, when we lived in Tucson, we lived at the foothills of the mountains, so there was more depth to the city.
Right.
Compared to where like you're at. It's flat where you're at.
Terry lives in Arizona, and we've been out there and stuff, and there's more to meets the eye. That to me was a state that's dead and flat and made us feel good, but there's a lot of stuff out there. It snows in part of Arizona.
Yep.
I have a friend that lives in, I don't know where she lives at. I watch her on Instagram, and it's always snowing out there. It's always snowing. So, yeah. Michigander for life. Yeah, I don't see Jess watching to see how much anxiety Jess has when we were at PetCon.
Yeah.
VidCon's fine because her babies aren't there. But when we were at PetCon, like we had to park in a parking lot, we had to run across the street, we had to do all kinds of stuff. That was I could see visually on your face that was a little stressful. We had no shade on the meet and greet until you flicked your wrist. It was I felt like it was hard. I felt like it was like, you guys know Frosty the Snowman. I felt like I had Frosty the Snowman and she was gonna melt like always, and I was always worried about like her temperature intake, like what what it was.
How long is it going to take before she goes off?
Quartz Hill is hilly. Like our Quartz Hill? Because I guess a little bit, but not really. But Quartz Hill is like 10 minutes from here. I enjoyed the Grand Canyon right in the middle of monsoon season. I'd go to the Grand Canyon, but like, I don't want to see a hole in the ground. You been to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, it was underwhelming.
Yeah.
It was really pretty and it was really neat to see, and I'm glad we went, but I liked like Yellowstone, I liked Colorado, Montana, Utah. I liked that stuff better than I liked the Grand Canyon, I guess. It was cool. I'm glad we went. I'm glad I've seen it, but it was one of those things where I feel like I walked up and we looked at it and I was like, okay, I've seen it. We can go now.
I've seen it plenty of times on the movies. I get it. It's a dam. So maybe I would probably be interested if I was there, but like, I don't want to choose it.
Right.
I don't want to choose it. And, yeah, I don't, like Steve said, I'm Canadian for life. Maybe up north. Yeah, I do not see either of you guys coming to California. You guys lost your mind when I went to a hockey game, and it took me 45 minutes to go to the last like 3 miles to get to the hockey game.
Yeah.
Like, you guys were not happy about that at all. Like, I could see the arena right there close by, and it was still going to be another 40 minutes.
Yeah,
back when people were allowed to like be next to people.
That's so crazy.
No, you would be frustrated. Although, Jess, and I've said it before, you did handle the freeways pretty dang well.
Yeah, I know how to drive.
You know how to drive. It's gas and brake and gas and brake and gas and brake.
Grand Canyon versus Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls.
Yeah, it's like Grand Canyon. It's like the Grand Canyon with the water turn on.
Yeah, exactly.
If you turn the water off, then maybe it's a wash.
Yeah.
You know, but that's all it is. You know what? The Grand Canyon needs to like up their game, and they need to start flowing some water in there.
I mean, there is water flowing in there. It's just all the way at the bottom.
Is it? I don't even know, because like my attention span gives up about that far down. So maybe I really don't know what's really, really, really down there. Then Cyber Husky said, I would consider Colorado and Alaska. I need to move away from Michigan, but I would need to be for a very good reason. Colorado, I heard, is beautiful. And I was there once when I was a kid, but it was on a train, so that didn't really count. Alaska, I heard Alaska's pretty good. I think Terry lived in Alaska for a while, and I think she liked it.
Colorado was always like my first, like, if I ever had to move away from Michigan, Colorado would be where I would want to go, until last year when we drove through Montana, and now it's Montana.
Yeah, you like the Montana?
Yeah, I would move to Montana.
You guys went up to go over.
Yeah.
What'd you think of going up there, like when you went to Dia and Joel's place? Like, what'd you think about that area?
I loved it. I loved all of that. It's beautiful up there.
What was the worst part? Was it California?
No, probably the worst part, driving across. Nevada's pretty boring. Whatever that state is right before it that we drove through. Was it Arkansas? There wasn't like a whole lot to see. Everybody always says that North Dakota's boring, but I loved it. North Dakota's not boring. If you take the right road across, North Dakota's not boring until you get towards the eastern side of it. But, going into North Dakota, it was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I bet.
So.
I bet. I thought you would have said California.
California wasn't boring. I liked California. Because we drove. Well, look at where we drove. We drove to where you lived, then to LA, and then we drove straight north. We went to the Redwoods.
When you start going north.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
good.
There
was that one day where we had, the 9-hour drive, and it was through a lot of the fields and stuff, and but you could still see the mountains, and I really liked that. Yes. And you see all the cow farms, and you see all the farms and all that stuff. But even that, I found interesting. It was still neat to see. It wasn't boring.
It was a lot of cow farms and a lot of cow smells. There's 2 ways to get up California. You either go to PCH, man, on that 1-lane highway up, and it's really slow, or you take the 15 that goes through everywhere all the way up. And is it the 5 maybe? I think it's the 5 or whatever. All the way up, and it's the things where they show you the sign of hey, there's no rest stop for 45 miles.
Yeah.
But you're hauling butt. You're doing 90 all the way up. But there's so many miles of cow farms and stuff.
Yeah.
Oof, yeah, it does smell. Oregon's a good place too.
It wasn't bad. I think probably, I don't know, even Nevada wasn't bad. I don't think there was any state that we drove through where I was just like, this is boring and I just want to be home. They all had their perks.
Steve said, we drove through the Pacific Coast Highway from north of San Francisco to LA. Highly recommend it. Sure, it's beautiful, and I've done it before, and it's just like you would see on the intro to California Dreams or a 90210 thing, and it's beautiful, and you see all the houses on there. It's 2 lanes through most of it, and it's sketchy, and people don't pay attention. They crash a lot. There's a lot of PCH accidents. Lots of stuff that happens on there, and it's slow. But if you need to move quickly, you have to go through the middle of the state. There's only that one way to go up there.
Right.
Chicago had a 70-car pileup last week. Well, they're not supposed to be on the road, Dale. Are you sure? You sure it wasn't in Chicagoland? You sure it wasn't NASCAR?
What were you doing outside?
What were you doing outside? Yes. Oh, would you move to the Upper Peninsula or stay in Alpena, Jess?
I'd move to the Upper Peninsula if I could get my mom and dad to move up there.
Yes. Jordan with the super chat. Did any of the cats notice the TV? I don't know where the cats are at. Actually, all of them. Any cats? Mooch is still here sleeping. He peeked a little bit, but it was the kitten that came out. No, she's still down there. Holy cow. Yeah, she's still sitting down there because the table's covering her, and she is watching it. Oh, that makes me so happy. She never comes out for anything. That makes me so happy. Came out for
critters.
Steve said it's so sketchy. Yeah, it is so sketchy. That's the one where Jenner got in trouble for not paying attention and rear-ended a car that went on the other lane in traffic, and then a head-on collision. It was bad. It happens like that. Didn't that, some other famous person died on PCH too? One of the Beach Boys or something like that. Dan, would you move to Michigan? Every day I move to Michigan and then I don't. Once a day I'm like, well, once a day I have a vision. Once a day I have a vision of living in Michigan. Because I spent 9 straight days there, was it?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and it was pretty much at that point, I just lived there. So there were some things that I didn't not like, but I would miss. Nothing about the place turned me off. It was lacking a couple things that I could probably live without.
Right.
But I would have probably said no from the first trip, but I would say yes, I could see myself living there after the second trip when it was really beautiful out and there was stuff to do and it felt like we had the run of the town. It felt like we ran the town. There was nobody around and you could do what you want and it was so pretty. And there was one of everything. There was boats. Yep. There was big boats. There was boat dumping salt. There was all of a sudden there was a museum for boats. There was all these food places and stuff that had no lines in it. And there was this park with all these ducks in it and it was pretty. And we got to go see the cats and there was nobody there but the workers. And I love that. It was small and quiet and I felt safe. I did not see one homeless person. I did not have one person ask me for money. I can't even go out, especially right now in public, without there's homeless camps anywhere, because I don't know what the heck the cops are doing, but it sure the heck ain't policing what's going on here. I can't go out and go into a line without anybody standing in front of my car waving me down, even if I try to, like, I don't really try to ignore them because they're humans, because I dealt with a lot of homeless at the bike shop, but like, it's so much pressure to try to go out here, and out there it felt so like free. And the deli is probably one, and I'm not just saying this, it is probably one of the number one places that I've ever ate out that was consistently good. It was so good. So I could see myself living out there for those things. You guys have a crap movie theater.
Yeah, we do.
But
we don't normally go there, though. We normally drive for an hour and a half if we really want to go to the movies.
I can get used to it. I have these daydreams of having a little small place, just like small, because like I would love like to break down every wall in this house. I just want one big room. I had a 1-bedroom apartment, and Blake had the bedroom with the bathroom in it. I slept on the couch that was butted up against the kitchen. Like, the kitchen bar came out, my couch was there, my TV was there, and I loved it just being there. I had the lights on 24 hours a day. I had the TV on 24 hours a day. I liked that. So I would have like a flat, and then I could see myself getting up every morning and then hiking it over to your house and then just working on stuff.
Yep.
I see that a lot in my head. Will I do it? Who knows? But yeah, so I do. After this last trip, I could see myself living there if that were a viable option. I know what Jess is gonna say next. Well, it's a viable option, but I could see myself living there. I could.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I mean, and I've lived in big cities and I've lived other places, and I still choose here.
Yeah. I can see why. Now, there is no way I could think of a plan or a proposal that I could propose to you that would make you want to come here.
Yeah, no.
So much gum on the ground, so much smog in the air. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, even PetCon LA. They're doing PetCon LA again. No way.
No, not in that. No, not in that place. Because we talked about it. Because you're like, it's gonna be in LA, or there's one in San Diego, or there was something else somewhere else. And I was like, dude, let's not do LA. Like, I'll travel to see you somewhere else. Let's not do LA again. Dan wouldn't survive a Michigan winter. I went to a Michigan winter for a week.
I was gonna say, you were here and you were fine.
I'm good. I don't have the skills to drive yet. I don't. I drove once in the snow, and I drove your Jeep.
Was it mine? Yeah, it was
I drove
mine.
one of the Jeeps because we had to move all the cars just like literally a block down.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that. Everything else was okay. It's new to me, so for the first couple of years, it'd be okay. Jason moved from here, Jake Crystal's brother, to Chicago, and like you have to get ready so much earlier, and you have to start your car, and you have to get the snow off, and so it would just be adjusting. I still think the first few years, everything's so new that I loved snow blowing. I loved snow blowing. I wanted to go hang out with that Dan guy because we were gonna like stack cars and like smash wood in the machine. That stuff's cool because I've never done that before.
Right.
You know, so I would love the hockey. Yes, seems right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can handle the cold. That part wasn't fun. I don't think I ever complained about it being cold. I commented maybe once or twice of like, today is cold. Like, it was really cold for a Halloween night.
Yep.
It got cold because it was blowing around and stuff, but I'm okay. I just don't have any of the skills, but it was really exciting. That snowblower was so exciting.
Right.
Yes.
Nah, you'd survive.
Mm-hmm. I would. The thing that I would be worried about is the humidity in the winter.
Which ain't nothing because we got lakes everywhere. You get too hot, you go jump in the lake.
That's true. That's the only thing that frightens me about back east is I literally have zero humidity. It's gonna be 87 degrees this week. We talked about. Isn't that crazy already? It's gonna be in the 80s this week, but we have zero humidity. So I might freak out about that. Husky Bunch says remote starters rock. I know, I have one on my Jeep. Boop bloop. And I love it. I love it. But when Crystal moved to Michigan, no. Nope.
Flat out. Nope.
Nope. Flat out no. It'd have to be a solo trip. The venue at PetCon LA was too small. It was too small.
Yeah,
Chase was there, yeah?
Yeah, Chase was there.
Yes, that's right. Duh. Okay, yes. Here's the thing. We've hung out so much now, like, which one was it? Was it the Airbnbs? Was it the PetCons? Was it the Vidcons? Was it dinner? You're right.
Right.
Yeah, no. Crystal's would be a hard no on that.
Hard no.
Hard no. Good podcast. Oh my gosh, 3 hours. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, we can.
Get the dogs out. Who let
Yeah.
the dogs out? You know,
Take care of the dogs. They emptied one of the water dishes. I can hear it running.
if I don't pull back the reins, like if you don't pull me back, I'll just go for hours and hours and hours.
I know.
You couldn't deal with the humidity in Texas. Well, maybe I'll try. I thought about it. I mapped it out on a cross-country trip on what it would take for me to go to all the people that I know's house to stay on their couches. I bet you half the people in the chat would let me stay on their couch to like just go and like have an adventure all the way till I got there. Because I was trying to figure out, like, November is Novi. Are we flying by then? Do I have to drive out there? I guess if the convention is going to go on, then flying is going to be happening
Probably.
by then. But I was thinking about that. Like, if things are crazy like this, could I like drive out there? How long did it take you to go from here to there?
The first day, the 3.5 days straight.
I don't like.
But that
the
was
word
driving
straight.
like 11 hours a day some days.
No.
So if you drove 8 hours a day, it would take you
No, not even
like
8 hours.
4.5 days.
I'm a 6-hour-a-day guy at the most.
Oh, then it's not even worth driving.
And here for me, like 6 hours for you is half the country. 6 hours for me is LA and back.
Right.
So, you know, so it would be, so that's gonna be hard. That's why every day I'd have to break it up. I would have to drive to somebody's house by nightfall, spend the next day hanging out with them, where they would have to show me what's going on, and then the next day I would have to drive again. You know.
Yep.
Stick Dan in the dog crate. Yeah, you'd have to.
That would make it, doing it that way too would make it so it wouldn't be so exhausting. Because when you just drive and then you go to bed and you get up and you drive and you go to bed and you get up and drive, that gets exhausting.
Yeah, see, I don't want to do that. That's not the life like I want to live. I want to have fun with it. Dale said 60-mile-an-hour winds in Chicago are unbearable with the cold. I get that here. Like we get winds that rip out trees here because I live in the valley, so that wind comes over and it blows our house down like the Three Little Pigs. So I'm used to the wind. When I go to Chicago, I fly in and then I go to Aurora, to Jason's house in Aurora.
Oh, right.
Yo, Darren, we have an extra room. Hippie Goodwitch, where do you live? 16 hours straight of driving down to Venice. Yeah, no thanks. No, thank you. That's just too much driving. I go crazy in the car a little bit. I mean, even when you were driving to Disneyland, at one point I was faced completely backwards, talking to everybody in the back seat. Like, I'm done. I don't get car sick, thankfully, but I'm just done. Everybody else in the car does, but I don't. Look at Laura said, "You're welcome to kick it in Boston." That might be a little overshoot to come back, but that is one of the things on my bucket list, is how fun would it be for me to go and make videos of going to people's houses where they showed me for one day their town, like anything that you think is rad, and we go and do that adventure. I think that would be pretty cool.
I think it would be pretty neat.
I mean, you're gonna end up with a man-child on your couch that doesn't shut up, you know. But that's
there's your first stop in Texas.
In Texas, man, but Texas is more than a day's drive. You could drive for 9 hours and still be in the same state. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem with Texas, and that's the problem with California. I can go up 6 or 7 hours and still be in the same state.
Right.
We almost drove straight to Florida. I've never been to Florida. We had 3 drivers. It's an 18-hour drive. If it was a tour bus style, yes. Part of me thought about selling all my belongings and get a Sprinter van and just live out of my Sprinter van, and then I could just go wherever. But I'd probably just end up in Michigan, and then I'd probably just end up stuck at your house.
Probably.
Like that I just wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't go anywhere. Brianna with the super chat. I have to do that to get to Georgia. Yeah, but at least it's a one-way trip, and if it's at the good time of the year, then it might be pretty. You know, I have biker people that would from other countries, and it would be awesome. They'd come into the bike shop, and in other countries you get like 3 months off, like a summer vacation. They're like, oh, like I'm off for work for 3 months. They'd fly to LAX, they would ride their bikes up, and we were like their last stop before you have this big long stretch until you get to Vegas. That's like everybody else's next stop. It's 4 hours by driving, or it's 2 days by bike. And they would come in, and I would always ask them where they're going. They had the plan, and they would either go to New York or they would go to Florida. But I would follow them on social media, and everything was the same. They would always complain when they had to go through Kansas of days of just nothing, of just like you could see 3 hours in front of you on the road that's out there. So I might go crazy driving through that. Those Sprinter vans are rad. They are rad. Yes. We had a grandma that came to the bike shop that was getting one of her grandson's bikes fixed, and she sold her life to live in a Sprinter van so she can go see all her grandkids. And she's like, "You want a tour?" I'm like, "All right." I was hopping on her bed, and I was all messing around in there, and it was really cool. I could do Sprinter van. If I had unlimited data, that's the thing too. I would live stream a lot of it.
Right.
That's 14 hours to Quebec from Windsor. I would love to go to Red Deer. That's probably, I think that's between Toronto and Calgary, maybe. I'd go there.
That'd be a pretty place to go to.
Stephanie says it's an hour between my house and Zane's house. You live in Perth, right? You live like on the west side of Australia. That's far. Oh,
you could drive there.
I'd drive there. I would go to Australia. That is one of the places where I would like to go. As much as I'd love to go to Japan, I want to go to a place where I don't have to speak another language. And I think going to Australia would be pretty cool. And I do have a lot of friends in Australia from like Vidi eras and stuff. And a lot of them do live in Perth.
I like New Zealand.
Would you go to New Zealand? I don't know much about New Zealand.
Yeah, that's probably where I would go.
I don't know. It's north of Edmonton. Okay, so it's between Edmonton and Calgary, I think, for the Calgary Stampede. That looks kind of fun. My brother would drive 8 hours for school. Is your brother is a saint? I did not do that at all. At all.
It doesn't make sense.
All right. Let me find some outro music, I guess. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching. There's a lot of you guys in here still. We appreciate it. Tomorrow morning we get to get up bright and early. I'm going to get some tea for my voice. Again. I ate up all my topics for tomorrow tonight because I didn't really have much to talk about. So
really?
A little bit. Let's see, what are we talking about tomorrow? I'll give you guys a little peek. We're going to be talking about Shane Dawson's recent videos, old Hollywood bloopers, and then everything else I pretty much... We're going to talk about how I have not yet to be invited to a Zoom call and how I'm unhappy about that. Real quick before we go.
Wait, actually, didn't you get invited to a Zoom call for tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have one tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Can I go on it for you?
No, didn't you get invited to one? Isn't that what we're doing tomorrow?
Is that what we're doing? I don't know if we're doing it on Zoom or on Skype or...
Oh, okay.
Or we're doing it on... what's that other app? The family... it's called... It's called a house party app. I think it's called a house party app. I have nothing but food apps on my phone, guys, from all the food apps. So if you guys need any food app help, let me know because I have that game on lock. Get the McDonald's app before you order McDonald's, people. All right, let me get some music. Thank you guys before we leave. Thank you. Great show again. Yes, thank you for hanging out, guys. I appreciate all your guys' comments and love in the chats and the super chats. You know, we appreciate that. And look out for the new CC Mouse podcast on Wednesday or maybe tomorrow night for your Patreoners if we get it all done tomorrow.
Yeah, because we have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Nah, that's how it always goes. All right.
Yep.
That'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse podcast. You can find us everywhere on your favorite music apps, social media places, or anywhere that you can type. Just type in CC Mouse podcast and you'll find us. So we see you guys next week. Same fun time, same fun podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. We did a thing.
For 3 hours and 11 minutes. Welcome to my world, Jess. Welcome to my world. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.